it's not so bad, it's not so bad. I drank too much last night, got bills to pay. My head just feels in pain. I missed the bus and there'll be hell today. I'm late for work again, and even if I'm there, they'll all imply that I might not last the day. And then you call.
This is Nationwide 90 FM, owned and operated by Nationwide News Network Limited. We broadcast from our studios at 14 Ocean Boulevard in the Digicel Center, downtown Kingston, Jamaica. Transmitting on the FM 90 band, 90.3 from Peters Rock in St. Andrew and Murphy Hill in St. Anne. Serving Kingston and St. Andrew, St. Catherine, St. Anne, parts of Clarendon, St. Mary and St. Thomas. 90.5 from Huntley in Manchester, transmitting to St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, Manchester, Clarendon, rural St. Andrew and parts of St. Thomas. And 90.7 from Cooper's Hill in St. Andrew and Flower Hill in St. James. Serving Westmoreland, Hanover, St. James, sections of Trelawney, Kingston, St. Catherine, Clarendon, St. Mary, Portland and St. Anne. Nationwide 90 FM also broadcasts on YouTube and Nationwide 90 FM Live too. RevoNews.ai and on Flow on channel 916. Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6 o'clock. From the studios of Nationwide Radio, morning radio the right way. It's Nationwide This Morning.
A very good morning to you. I'm Tona Thomas. Coming up in the news at 6 for this morning, Wednesday, January 21, 2026. The lower house passes the amendments to the Financial Investigations Division Act. Former Prime Minister Bruce Golding says defendants should be given the choice of jury or bench trial. And opposition spokesman on justice questions process for amending the Jury Act. In regional news, 7 Caribbean countries to host third country nationals from the United States. In international news, Spain records its second commuter train crash in as many days. In sports, Wind is looking to level T20 against Afghanistan in Dubai on Wednesday. And in business, the European Parliament plans to suspend approval of the U.S. trade deal agreed in July. The details after the break.
We need a bigger office where we can see more clients. Sounds like ambition is calling and Access Financial Services is answering. The funds are waiting.
Boss, I just can't wait for one truck.
I know. We need another truck. Sounds like you have a plan and Access Financial Services can help. Horizon, a new loan product from Access Financial Services designed for women entrepreneurs to unlock the capital you need to grow and take your business beyond limits with quick approval, flexible repayment, and low interest rates. Your success is on the horizon.
Catch the first news of the day. A comprehensive package of local, international, sports, and business news. The news at 6 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. The House of Representatives on Tuesday passed amendments to the Financial Investigations Division FID Act. Finance Minister Favour Williams piloted the bill.
This bill, contained in the proposal to amend the FID Act, seeks to address the issues relating to independence and to ensure that FID complies with the Financial Action Task Force standards and principles of Egmont, thus maintaining membership. Further, Mr. Speaker, the amendment is also pertinent to ensure that Jamaica is better prepared for the 5th round of the Financial Action Task Force mutual evaluation as international cooperation is one of the focus area to test for effectiveness.
The Egmont Group facilitates and prompts the exchange of information, knowledge, and cooperation amongst the member financial intelligence units, FIUs. It provides FIUs with a platform to securely exchange expertise and financial intelligence to combat money laundering, terrorist financing, and associated predicate crimes. Among the amendments is a move to that speaks to the FID sharing of the information with the local public body or foreign financial intelligence departments for the purposes of financial crimes.
The FID may exchange information with the bodies mentioned before to enable the division or that body or financial intelligence department or association of departments to exercise regulatory functions, including the conduct of civil, criminal, or administrative investigations and proceedings to enforce laws administered, requiring in the new subsection 4 that the FID to enter into a memorandum of understanding or other arrangements with the public body or foreign financial intelligence department or association before the disclosure of information.
Fayval Williams, the Finance Minister. Give accused persons the choice of a judge only or jury trial depending on the matter before the court. That's the position of former Prime Minister Bruce Golding, who has served as a jury foreman. He was weighing in on the debate about whether trial by jury should maintain its place in the court system on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday. Mahiri Stewart has that story.
Bruce Golding says a proper debate is necessary in order to determine the correct way for trials to continue. He wants to see accused persons get a choice between the two options based on the case.
I believe we need a robust debate on this. I believe that we should end up with a situation where some cases would be reserved for judge only and other cases would be subject to jury trial, with the option be open to the accused person as to whether or not he wants to be tried in a jury situation.
There have been widespread discussions on the matter after Chief Justice Brian Sykes renewed his call for judge-alone trials. According to him, the dependence on jury trials continues to create backlogs in the justice system. Shortly after his call, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck announced that a joint select committee of Parliament is to be established to examine matters relating to the Jury Act, including whether trial by jury should remain in place. Noted defense attorney King's Counsel Peter Champagny argues that there's nothing injurious about the current hybrid system, where some cases are tried by a judge alone while others are placed before a jury. Mr. Golding is concerned that a jury's lack of legal know-how could lead to poorly decided verdicts.
When a jury made up of persons who are not trained in law sit in the jury room to deliberate, one of the things that worry me is that they cannot be expected to understand legal precedent. So that lawyers understand that, judges understand that, but they may very well end up rendering a verdict that goes against long-established legal precedent.
Still, the former Prime Minister further argued that juries are important due to their societal integration and lack of politicization in certain situations.
Juries tend to reflect societal norms and values, not just legal technicalities.
Yes.
And therefore they are able to understand context in a way that judges might not. Another argument in favor of juries is the fact that in countries where judges are politically appointed, juries provide a backstop, a buffer, to ensure that decisions and verdicts are not politically tainted.
Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, another former juror, Michael Gale, agrees with Mr. Golding that jurors are necessary in some cases due to their lived experiences compared to that of a judge.
I think it's best to use juror because I think some cases definitely need other opinion, just not a judge's opinion only.
But the judge is very learned in the law, yeah? Some jurors are not.
But for the main fact, it's not some jurors are not, we're just ordinary citizens and we know stuff as well. A judge will call down a verdict based on what is presented, likewise a normal citizen. And when you're in the courthouse, and the judge has just pointed out to you as well that the judgment must be on the evidence that presented, not what you just did. You're looking at what presented, what you're listening to, and it has to make sense.
Michael Gale, former juror. Mr. Gale was also speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday. Opposition spokesman on justice, Zalika Jess, is questioning the process by which the government is seeking to pass amendments to the Jury Act. She was speaking in the House of Representatives on Tuesday.
Coming from practitioners across the island. But I feel very strongly, Mr. Speaker, that it is only good practice and good governance that if we're going to send a bill to Joint Select Committee to have a comprehensive overview of the bill, of the Act, then why not send it to Joint Select Committee first and then allow us as members in this House to have a thorough and in-depth discussion as to be able to make a more informed decision.
Among the amendments are an increase in the stipend for jurors and allowing trials without a jury present. Under Section 42A, the amendments would allow the prosecution to apply for a trial to be conducted without a jury where there is evidence of a real and present danger of jury tampering. In such cases, the judge must be satisfied that jury tampering is likely despite protective measures. But Jess is questioning why the decision rests solely with the prosecution.
Why not allow for the defense to have an opportunity to make that application if it so desires? Why not allow for the judge on its own volition to make that particular determination if it so desires? Why does a section seek to limit this opportunity to make an application to only the prosecution? And it is worthy of consideration because when I reviewed the Criminal Justice Administration Act, that only applies if that position is taken or that election is made prior to a jury being empaneled. So it's important, if there is going to be this option being provided for in the Jury Act, then the prosecution, the defense, and the judge ought to be afforded an opportunity.
Zalika Jess, opposition spokesman on justice. Put emotions aside and decide only on the evidence before you. Those are the instructions given by presiding judge Justice Leighton Pusey to the 7-member jury who will consider Noel Maitland's fate. The police constable is charged with the murder of his girlfriend, social media influencer Donnelly Donaldson, in July 2022. He's also charged with the unlawful burial of her body, which has never been recovered. Judge Pusey started his summation of the case on Tuesday in the Supreme Court. Robin Williams reports.
Justice Leighton Pusey reminded the jurors that they and they alone are the judges of fact. He explained that while he ruled on matters of law and managed the proceedings, their role is to decide what they believe and what they do not. The judge urged the panel to examine the entire case, cautioning them against speculation, guesswork, or imagination. In particular, he addressed issues raised during the trial about Noel Maitland's baby mother, Katiana Smith. Justice Pusey warned jurors not to leap to conclusions simply because she's not before the court. He stressed that jurors must not guess that any person must have done this or that. Instead, he explained their task is to draw only reasonable inferences, common-sense conclusions, grounded firmly in evidence, and leading to certainty beyond a reasonable doubt. The judge emphasized that jurors must approach the case neutrally, free from emotion, hype, or external influence. He said, "As judges, we are not concerned about emotion. We follow the evidence beyond a reasonable doubt." Justice Pusey reminded them to ignore headlines, social media commentary, and public opinion, and to rely solely on what was presented in court. The jurors were urged to carefully assess the testimony of more than 30 witnesses and the more than 40 exhibits tendered in evidence, weighing each witness based on credibility and communication and not dismissing any evidence outright. Justice Pusey said, You come to this case with an open and impartial mind. Examine the evidence, check the evidence, and decide whether it makes you feel sure. He also commended the jury for working together throughout the trial, noting that collaboration is part of the foundation in reaching a just verdict. The trial resumes on Thursday morning at 10 when Justice Pusey will continue his summation. The trial now enters its most decisive stage as the jurors are expected to retire and begin deliberations on Thursday in a case that has gripped the nation. Robeanne Williams for Nationwide News.
Approximately 24 decommissioned Jamaica Urban Transit Company JUTC buses were destroyed in a fire at the Rockford depot on Tuesday. The incident was confirmed by the bus company in a media release. JUTC says at 2:50 p.m., thick black smoke was observed coming from the northwestern section of the depot. It says that the decommissioned buses were being stored in that area of the property. The bus company says the incident remains under investigation. The company adds that it will implement any necessary measures arising from the findings to protect the public assets under its care and control. JUTC says the Jamaica Fire Brigade and the Constabulary Force were immediately notified and responded within 10 minutes. 4 fire units were deployed and the blaze was quickly brought under control. The company says no injuries were reported. There was also no damage or exposure to JUTC's active rolling stock, stores, or critical operational facilities. Depot operations were also not affected. Now, with less than 2 weeks to go before the cashless transition of the Jamaica Urban Transit Company JUTC Rural School Bus Program, close to 8,000 students have registered for the service. Corporate Communications Manager at JUTC, Chantal Thompson, gave Nationwide News an update on Tuesday afternoon. Ms. Thompson is again urging parents and students who benefit from the service to use the available methods to register.
At present, we have 7,740 students registered for the Rural School Bus Student Transportation Card. We're still urging our parents or students to continue to register. You can find the registration form on the JUTC Instagram, which is JUTC LTD, or you can go on the JUTC website, which is jutc.gov.jm, where you can register for your student transportation card.
The Rural School Bus Program services between 16 and 18,000 students island-wide. Starting February 1, students will no longer pay cash to access the service, but instead use a card system. Transport Minister Darrell Vaz had expressed concern in early January about the number of students registered for the service. Ms. Thompson told our news center that the JUTC is taking measures to get as many students registered as possible before February 1.
I'm not so concerned. If one thing that we have noticed with the Jamaicans, we're very last minute. We are putting out the communications. We are going into the different regions. We also have our bus drivers with registration forms in case they don't have access to the internet. We sent bulletins to the different schools. We're starting out handing out flyers this week. We are also facilitating registration for persons who need help filling out the form at the Halfway Tree Transport Center in the customer care area.
Chantal Thompson, Corporate Communications Manager at JUTC. The opposition People's National Party says that the reduction of the U.S. travel advisory is a welcomed boost for Jamaica's tourism recovery efforts following last October's passage of Hurricane Melissa. On Saturday, the United States government revised the travel advisory for Jamaica from Level 3 to Level 2. Opposition spokesman on tourism Andrea Perkis says that the adjustment comes at a critical moment for the tourism industry, particularly for workers and communities along the North Coast and Western parishes. She says that the change signals renewed confidence in Jamaica as a destination, even as efforts continue to rebuild after the destruction caused by the Category 5 system. Ms. Perkis is optimistic that the Level 2 advisory will encourage bookings, support airline traffic, and help hotels and attractions move closer to full operation. A Level 2 advisor encourages visitors to travel with increased caution. A 68-year-old Canadian national is suspected to have drowned off the coast of Negril Monday afternoon. The deceased has been identified as John Diamore of Canada. He was vacationing in Negril. Reports are that about 1:50 p.m. he was aboard a boat when it was struck by a large wave. He reportedly fell into the water and encountered difficulties. Diamore, who was pronounced dead at the Savlamar Hospital. Investigations into the incident are ongoing. And that's it for the local segment of the news. Up next, regional and international.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:19.
People, did you know reducing the use of cash at toll locations makes it safer for everyone involved? Did you also know that using cash costs more? That's why TransJam Highways has a target of having 80% of all trips on the highway be made through the T-Tag lane by 2028. By using the T-Tag, you avoid the use of cash at the toll plazas and you move quicker through the T-Tag express lane. And if for Class 1 and Class 2, you actually pay cheaper toll rates. So use the T-Tag lane every time.
Make smart money moves like a winner and use your T-Tag every time.
Regional and international news this morning. Regional CARICOM Chairman Dr. Terence Drew has disclosed that countries that refuse to accept third country nationals from the United States risk indirect sanctions. He says the countries could face visa restrictions and difficulties in international banking exchanges. Drew, who is also Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, says Washington is pressuring Caribbean nations into cooperating. Several Caribbean governments have so far signed memoranda of understanding to host asylum seekers deported from the U.S. They include Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, St. Lucia, and St. Kitts and Nevis. Guyana, Belize, and Barbados have indicated that they're considering the agreement. In Barbados, Minister of Foreign Affairs Kerry Simmons has said that the pressure exerted by Washington is difficult for small island economies to resist. International, a commuter train derailed near Barcelona on Tuesday after a containment wall fell on the track due to heavy rain. The driver was killed and 37 passengers injured, 4 of them seriously. The accident comes just 2 days after a high-speed train collision and derailment in the southern Cordoba province, which killed 42 people. In a separate incident on Tuesday night, Spanish rail operator says traffic south of Girona, also part of the Barcelona commuter rail network, was interrupted due to a train axle coming off the track. Also in international news at this hour, several countries have moved to restrict travel for Americans after the United States expanded its travel ban and suspended visa processing for dozens of nations. The African nations of Chad, Burkina Faso, and Mali have all stopped issuing visas for American citizens. Officials have described the measures as reciprocal actions, citing what they say is unequal treatment of their citizens by U.S. immigration authorities. In South Asia, Pakistan has also taken steps that will make travel more difficult for Americans. Pakistan was included on the list of countries for which the U.S. Department of State is pausing the processing of all immigrant visas effective January 21. That's today. And that's it for regional and international. Up next, sports.
In times of loss, sharing information matters. Nationwide 90 FM offers professional obituary announcements, ensuring family, friends, and communities are informed with care and dignity.
It's been a long day.
Obituaries are aired weekdays at 8:30 a.m., 12:30 p.m., and 7:30 p.m. When it's important to reach people, let us help you do so respectfully. Contact our sales team today, 876-630-1210 or sales@nationwidenewsnetwork.com for more information. Nationwide 90 FM, informing Jamaica with care.
Are you ready to turn your sales and marketing skills into high earnings? Nationwide 90 FM is searching for business development executives to help us grow our business and build lasting client relationships. If you have experience across all stages of the sales cycle and possess strong communication, negotiation, and time management skills with a proven sales track record, this opportunity is perfect for you. Join our team and work with the top corporate brands, media agencies, and of course, our on-air personalities. Enjoy networking opportunities, professional growth, and competitive commissions. Ready to take the next step? Send your resume to hr@nationwidenewsnetwork.com today.
Time now for your morning sports. The West Indies will be looking to bounce back and level their three-match T20 International Series against Afghanistan when the teams clash in the second game at the Dubai International Stadium on Wednesday, starting at 9:30 a.m. Jamaica time. Alric Swaby tells us more.
The two-time world champions are coming off a disappointing start to the series after suffering a 38-run defeat on Monday in what is their penultimate warm-up series ahead of next month's ICC Men's T20 World Cup. West Indies struggled with the bat in the opening encounter, failing to build meaningful partnerships as they chased Afghanistan's total of 181. Johnson Charles showed some resistance at the top, with Quinton Sampson, Matthew Ford and Gudakesh Moti also chipped in with useful contributions. However, the batting unit as a whole failed to fire, placing the team under pressure early in the series. With the ball, Jaden Seals and Gudakesh Moti were the standout performers, returning respectable figures and keeping the Windies in the contest despite a late Afghanistan surge. Meanwhile, Afghanistan will also be aiming for improvement, particularly at the top of the order. Although they posted a competitive total on Monday, they were in early trouble after slumping to 19 for 2. A remarkable third-wicket partnership of 162 rescued the innings and ultimately laid the foundation for the victory. Wednesday's match could prove pivotal not only for the series outcome but also for selection, as the West Indies World Cup squad is expected to be announced following the game. Alric Swaby reporting for Nationwide Sports.
Jamaica will bring the curtain down on their campaign in the CWI Women's T20 Blaze on Wednesday when they face Trinidad and Tobago in the first match of a triple header at Arnos Vale in St. Vincent. The contest bowls off at 9:30 a.m. Jamaica time. The Jamaican women are already out of contention for a place in Friday's final after a disappointing run that saw them lose their first three matches. Their only success so far came on Monday with a victory over the Windward Islands. Champions Guyana will be in action in the second game of the day, taking on Barbados from 2:30 p.m. in what is expected to be a keenly contested encounter. The feature match at 6 p.m. will see the unbeaten Leeward Islands go up against the Windward Islands. Leeward's already assured of a spot in the final after winning all four of their matches, will be aiming to complete a perfect preliminary round. Finally, in your morning sports, Campion College survived a thrilling quarter-final clash on Tuesday, edging St. George's College 64-62 in one of several high-intensity matchups in the ISA Schoolboys Basketball Tournament Under-19 Urban Zone. Campion leaned heavily on a dominant all-round performance from Zachary Lawrence Smith, who poured in 35 points and grabbed 23 rebounds to carry his team across the line. In another quarterfinal showdown, Jamaica College pulled away in the second half to secure a 65-55 win over Arden High. Camperdown High delivered one of the most commanding performances of the day, cruising past the Tivoli Gardens High 75-47. Rounding out the quarterfinals, Calabar High flexed their offensive firepower in a 73-53 victory over Kingston College. And that's it for your morning sports.
Yo, check this out. This is Ding Dong Ravers, one of your patrons for the Sagicor Sigma Run 2026. And this year, we are bringing out the best as we run, walk, and wheel for the West.
Hi, this is Lisa Hanno, and I'm proud to be a patron for this run in aid of funds to repair and rebuild schools damaged by Hurricane Melissa.
Hey, Public Civil here. I spent my whole life trying to make records, but this record is going to be special.
We're aiming to raise a record $150 million for children in the West.
Well, everybody come jump up, lace up, wheel up. Donate some money, everybody sign up. We are run for the West.
Sign up now at SagicorSigmaRun.com.
In business this morning, the European Parliament is planning to suspend approval of the U.S. trade deal agreed in July. That's according to sources close to its International Trade Committee. The suspension is set to be announced in France on Wednesday. The move is a counterpunch to the U.S.'s threat of new tariffs over his efforts to acquire Greenland. It would mark another escalation in tensions between the U.S. and Europe. The standoff has rattled financial markets, reviving talk of a trade war and the possibility of retaliation against the U.S. for its trade measures. Shares on both sides of the Atlantic were lower on Tuesday, with European stock markets seeing a second day of losses. In the U.S., the Dow Jones slid more than 1.7%, while the S&P 500 dropped more than 2%, and the Nasdaq closed about 2.4% lower. Stock markets in the Asia-Pacific region were mixed on Wednesday, with the major indices in Japan and Hong Kong trading a little lower, while shares in Hong Kong and mainland China were slightly higher. The price of gold continued to make gains, rising above $4,800 an ounce for the first time. The price of silver dipped from Monday's record high of more than $95 an ounce. Precious metals are seen as safer assets to hold in times of uncertainty, as the prices of both gold and silver have soared over the past year. Snapchat's parent, Snap, has settled a social media addiction lawsuit just days before the landmark case was due to go to trial in Los Angeles. Terms of the deal were not announced, as it was revealed by lawyers at a California Supreme Court hearing. Snap later told the BBC the parties were pleased to have been able to resolve the matter in an amicable manner. Other defendants in the case include Instagram parent Meta, ByteDance's TikTok, and Alphabet's YouTube, none of which have settled. The plaintiff, a 19-year-old woman identified by the initials KGM, alleged that the algorithmic design of the platforms left her addicted and affected her mental health. In the absence of a settlement with the other parties, the trial is scheduled to go forward against the remaining 3 defendants, with a jury selection due to begin on January 27. Meta boss Mark Zuckerberg is expected to testify, and until Tuesday's settlement, Snap CEO Evan Spiegel was also set to take the stand. In foreign exchange trading this morning, the Jamaican dollar has gained 25 cents and will open trading against the benchmark US dollar, selling for an average $158.01. Against the Canadian, the Jamaican has gained $1.95 and will open selling for an average $113.19. And finally, the Jamaican dollar has lost $1.38 and will begin trading for an average $213.81 against the British pound. That's it for business this morning.
It's This Morning on Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
6:32.
Need to pass your CSEC CAPE exams to get that dream job or to qualify for university? Then Distinction College is the school for you. We have locations in Kingston, Spanish Town, St. Elizabeth, and Ocho Rios. Start day, evening, and Saturday classes this coming term and sit CSEC CAPE exams for January's resit or May, June. Maths, law, science, English. We have the lowest school fees. Register before the end of the month and win an entire term free. Call us at 354-8560.
This season is the time. Digicel is gifting smiles. Gift a smile, give to win a grand prize. $250K to help you to gift a smile. Plus groceries and farming supplies. Keep your loved ones in mind. Gift a smile. Sharing the love from me to you. Samsung tablet video and your crew. Gift a smile. Gift a smile. This season, make sure everybody good. Digital is helping you to gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile. I've been here all day of my life. Work's good and queer, I behold with my sight. Some will share, others do as they like. Some you flesh them watch here with them fork and knife. Some don't care, their heart is like ice. After killing under them retires, but I'm holding firm. Every man deserves to earn. Jaja come a plan with success, holding firm. Every man deserves to earn. You won't think I'm the mess. You say I'm rude, it's an attitude, yeah. I don't choose, I don't lose, so go on your way. Money is the order of your day. Choosing your wealth, that won't stay. Want to come to prove I don't choose, and then it's me and I love me include. Every obstacles I am move, yeah, it's I put all on a reprove. Holding firm, every man deserves to earn. Jaja crown of plans with success, holding firm. Every man has his turn. You won't see I see your brother wake up late on the he's out of trumpet. Hey, what's over us? Emperor Selassie, hide them your robos, rugged and steep. I know it is a must. For us to make it home, even through them, you're gnashing of teeth. Hey, guide over us. Holy Emmanuel, Isis, and his could and never get weak. I know it is a must. For us to make it home, through them, you're gnashing of teeth. These are those who constantly they have been placing the rocks on the traps, leaving them as snares laying. And then wish we all of them hate to be falling. Yet none of them face the witness that you're rising. Feeling high, making it onto my way. No apology, fire on them every day. Conspiracy leads the game you play. Now the fall on the knees without my say. Guide over us.
I hope we find you well this Wednesday morning. Good morning, good morning, good morning to you. You're tuned in to Nationwide this morning, NTM. Thank you so much for coming on over and joining us. Hello to my friends there, loading up the YouTube chat. Good morning to all the YouTubers. Good morning to my friends out there in Radio Land. As usual, I say, if you're joining us from the app or from the website this Wednesday morning, good morning to you as well. I'm Tana Thomas.
Good morning, Tana. Good morning, listeners. Good morning, viewers. Good morning, Mr. King. Good morning, Kimon. Good morning, Nigel. Good morning, Michelle. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning.
What a God.
It's a good morning.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah.
That it is.
Yeah.
So, listeners, viewers, funny when people talk about transparency and making full disclosure, and it appears as if that only happens to, meaning that is only expected of politicians or circumstances where politicians find themselves in a spot of bother. So people say, we want full disclosure, we want to know the names, we want to know who, for reasons that the public doesn't know yet. Several things in the Auditor General's performance audit ensuring value for money in public health procurement at the UHWI. Several things are unclear because we don't know who directly is responsible or party to some of the breaches that the Auditor General flagged. in the report prepared by her team. And politics time is a hell of a time because people are conditioned more than at any other time to demand transparency, to demand full disclosure. If this report had dropped in politics time, every day people be asking, demanding, who are the principals of private company 1, private company 2, private company 3, private company 4? Who are these individuals? Meaning the 4 companies that the report says benefit from the UHWI's abuse of its tax-exempt status. Same report drops now. Nobody not really ask. I mean, we are doing our journalism and keeping the light shone brightly on the issue. But it's almost as if there's no appetite to know who the principals are. And so, as I said, the public does not yet know who the companies are that benefited from the UHWI's abuse of that tax exemption status. And I'd like to know from the Auditor General's Department, the reasons for withholding the naming of the company when it is that what they're accused of being party to is out in the public domain. Why not name, why not identify them? It may be a very good reason. There may be a very good reason to withhold this information. But I'd like to know on what basis that is being withheld. The other thing is this, and related to the same matter. If we step back from the issues raised in the audit report, we will find that the real question we should be asking is there in black and white. The report says that the UHWI, and I'm coming to the issue of the contracts that there are no procurement documents for, fret not. The report says that the UHWI used its status as an entity which does not have to pay tax. In 2003, 2004, under the leadership when the finance ministry was led by Dr. Omar Davis, he went to Parliament and indicated that the government would be changing the law to remove tax-exempt status from several government entities that enjoyed the privilege, and that the removal of that privilege, tax-exempt status, from several state agencies, including Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Commission, Jamaica Racing Commission, to name but 2, that would bring $600 million back into the government's coffers in revenue in the 2003-2004 fiscal year. So tax-exempt status is a big thing. The state entities benefit from it, or state-related entities, to get the things into the country that they need to carry on their operations and not have to be burdened by a payment to the taxman, or in this case a taxwoman, Favour Williams, Minister of Finance. So it is a real privilege, and it's real money around it. So if you have that status, you ought to protect the status, to preserve the status, and to use it for what it is intended. Now, the UHWI used, the Auditor General says, this status to buy things for private individuals. That's exactly what happened. The only thing is that the UHWI didn't do it. Follow me now. The UHWI did not do this thing. It was somebody at the UHWI who did it. It was some officer, some official with the authority to authorize the documents who did this thing, not the hospital itself. So it's either one individual or a group of individuals who came together with the principals of the private company involved and the private companies involved and decided to do this thing. So if the Auditor General has not named the private companies, so we could start drawing lines and making connections, what hope are we to have that the Howard Mitchell-led team, which has been brought in to look into these matters, and the Patrick Hilton-led board, which is tasked with cleaning up, what hope are we to have that they will name the individuals who signed the requisite documents for the UHWI's tax-exempt status to be used for the benefit of private individuals. That's really what we're facing this morning, and that's what we need to know who the people are. People who work in the public sector often get away because when problems occur, the way that people honed cabinet ministers, honed politicians, nobody hones these people any at all. And people revel, some of us, in seeing politicians being honed. Minister this, minister that, permanent secretary here, this, that. But the people who work in management and who work at the board level always, head below the parapet, escaping bullets, not catching strays. And we protect them, But we always bawl for the blood of minister this, minister that. And minister's time will come. That time will come, fret not. But for right now, who was on the board of the UHWI when these things happened? 2019-2020 fiscal year to 2024-25 fiscal year. That's the period that the Auditor General's report covered. Who was leading at the time? Whose decision was it to abuse the UHWI's tax-exempt status? Who signed the documents? And who knew that the documents were signed and knew that signing the documents to buy things for your private friends in private business was wrong? Who did that? And if the Auditor General is not helping us to fill in the blanks, who will tell us? That's the question this morning. What I do know is who populated the management team of the UHWI over the period that the Auditor General spoke to in her report. Fitzgerald Mitchell was the CEO. And many people don't know about Fitzgerald Mitchell. Fitzgerald Mitchell was appointed CEO of the UHWI in 2024. But don't believe that he was new. He had been acting for 2 years prior to being appointed full-time. And Fitzgerald Mitchell was with the UHWI for 27 years, serving the organization in various management positions within the organization. It is said here that Fitzgerald Mitchell was CEO of the Nuclear Medicine Unit. He holds a Master of Business Administration, Bachelor of Arts in History, Diploma in Institutional Management from UTech, as well as postgraduate certificate in Managing Healthcare Delivery from Harvard University. Under Mitchell's leadership, we're told UHWI implemented wide-reaching modernization initiatives, including the digitization of hospital operations and the strategic acquisition of advanced diagnostic equipment. We are told that he oversaw the reinstatement and expansion of nuclear medicine services at UHWI and worked closely with international and regional partners to improve access to high-quality radiation services. That's Fitzgerald Mitchell. That's the CEO of the UHWI, who's on 3 months leave to facilitate, 3 months leave to clear the deck so that investigations can run their course, including one by the police fraud squad. Who supported him on the senior management of the UHWI? Helena Thompson, Senior Director of Nursing. Dr. Carl Bruce, Medical Chief of Staff. Dwayne Nelson, Senior Director, Corporate Social Responsibility. Dwight McLeish, Chief Audit Executive. Latoya Miller, Acting Senior Director, Human Resource Management and Development. Donna Harilal, Senior Director, Information Communication Technology. Ainsworth Buckridge, Senior Director, Information Digitization Specialist. Angela Curtis Cox, Senior Director, Strategic Planning, Performance and Project Management. Wayne Robinson, Major Wayne Robinson, Senior Director, Operations and Facilities. Miss Valasha Dover, Acting Senior Director in charge of Finance. All of those individuals part of Fitzgerald Mitchell's management team at the UHWI. The board of the UHWI now. Remember, in December 2023, Tufton announced that the board had been dissolved because of personality clashes involving the chairman, Wayne Chai-Chung, and Dr. Andre Foote, the deputy chairman, and that Patrick Hilton and Dwayne DeAndre Cox would replace those two on the UHWI board. So, Joanna Banks, Dr. Merton Smith, Dr. Horace Fletcher, Donovan Betancourt, Dr. Ronald Robinson, Roger Anderson, Professor Joseph Plummer, Professor John Linder, Dr. Dawn Monroe, Catherine Parks Thwaites, plus ex officio board members covering the period 2022 to 2025, Andrea McNeish, Professor Dale Weber, Dr. Jacqueline Misacer McKenzie, Ms. Hope Blake, Professor Minerva Thame. All of the names I just mentioned were either part of the UHWI board in the period covered by the Auditor General's report, or part of senior management at the UHWI in the period covered by the Auditor General's report. So therefore, how many of that number, or how many of those individuals knew what was happening where the absence of procurement documents for $521 million in contracts was concerned? Who knew that this was happening? Who knew too that the UHWI inappropriately, well, the UHWI could not provide procurement documentation for 51 contracts valuing $521 million. Who knew that the UHWI frequently initiated the procurement process after goods or services had already been delivered or works completed? And who knew that the UHWI conducted 2 purchases through its private wing, thereby bypassing standard procurement procedures? And who knew that the UHWI did not follow required procurement procedures for hiring consultants and other service providers? All of the management team, the individuals I just mentioned, all of the board members, the individuals I just mentioned, which of you knew that all of this was happening, and what did you do? And then, will the Patrick Hilton board tell us who was ultimately responsible for all of this? And will the Auditor General tell us why she has chosen to not name the private companies who were party to the UHWI abusing its tax-exempt status to buy things for private people to then make profits? Because that is exactly what happened here. We wait for answers.
Operators of public passenger vehicles. The Transport Authority's motor vehicle inspection begins January 12. Get your vehicles inspected at any of the authorized facilities in preparation for the upcoming licensing period. The time by the Transport Authority is
6:51.
JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union offers financial solutions for every stage in your life: savings, auto loans, mortgages, and more. The Temperature by JPS and Partners Cooperative Credit Union, your financial partner for life, is
24 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 19 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Jamaica Post is committed to being your preferred logistics partner. Enjoy the convenience of 3 to 5 days for international shipments at competitive rates and next business day delivery for local packages. Take advantage of our fast, reliable and ever-evolving services: Zip Mail, Click and Ship, Fast Track, EMS, Parcel Service, Registered Mail, Corporate Mail Service, and Private Letterbox. Access customer service support and track packages online. Visit our post offices island-wide and premium service centers at select locations. For more information, go to jamaicapost.gov.jm. Conditions apply.
At some point this morning, I will tell them about the courier service follow-up, you know.
Yes.
Yes?
Yeah, that time will come.
Ludlow, good morning. Speech Pass 1.
Morning, George. Morning, Tona.
Good morning.
An interesting outside my mind there. Anyway, just a quick update as to what is happening. Just those of you who are using the Mandela, just remember it's quite active now. If you're coming off the Edward Seattle Highway or the North-South Highway, it's quite active as you make your way towards Mandela, and you're heading eastbound. It's very active as you make your way towards the 6 miles area. And those of you who are coming from the Spanish Town area, coming through the Old Harbour side there, Old Harbour Road onto the roundabout, and then you're using the bypass. It's also active. And coming out of Municipal Boulevard onto the Mandela Highway, heading east. West is not a problem, but going east is pretty active as you make your way to 6 miles. And already 6 miles to 3 miles via Spanish Town Road is quite busy indeed, especially coming from 6 miles there and then going to 3 miles. Washington Boulevard, active, but there are gaps along Washington Boulevard. It really peaks heading towards Dunrobin Avenue. Constant Spring already flowing with traffic. You can look at as far as Marybrown's Corner coming down. Traffic is there. It's moving, though. Peaks as you get closer into the Half the Tree area. Shortwood Road is also steady, and it actually builds at Constant Spring Road. But other areas, Waterloo Road is steady, but going across the Trafalgar, you'll have some traffic heading in that particular direction, which means it's going to be busy later on during the course of the month. Oxford Boulevard off Trafalgar Road, steady, but Oxford Road in both directions quite active at this time. No doubt, as the morning progresses, you'll have traffic in many other areas and at the intersections, which is always quite busy. So until 7:20 thereabout, I return it to the students.
Thank you. Lord Lowe there with Street Smarts One. Up next, word of the day.
And a word of the day this Wednesday morning, spelled A-N-A-T-I-N-E, spelled A-N-A-T-I-N-E.
Anatine. Anatine. Anatine.
Anatine is your word of the day, an adjective, so a descriptive word, anatine, meaning resembling a duck. Resembling a duck. To use anatine in a sentence, the yellow boat had an oddly anatine quality as it floated on the lake. Anatine, your word of the day. Up next, your features at the top of the hour, the news.
Turtles are one of the oldest kinds of reptiles on the planet. Their hard shell and slow-moving mannerisms make them unique pets. Last time on Pets World, we told you about the Jamaican slider turtles. Today, we look at another type of pond turtle found in Jamaica. This is the Cuban slider turtle. The Cuban slider turtle is native to Cuba. Juveniles of the species are sometimes traded alongside the red-eared terrapin turtles and are later released into the wild by their owners. In its natural habitat, this terrapin inhabits freshwater lakes, ponds, and rivers. Environmental Officer in the Ecosystems Management Branch at the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA, Damani Calder, says the Cuban sliders are found in the western end of the island.
Native to Jamaica or wild in Jamaica, we also have the Cuban slider turtle, which is Trachemys desucata, and it is only found in certain sections of the island. So the northwest of the island, so certain parts of St. James and Trelawney, this turtle has been found. Now the thing is, the Cuban slider turtle looks more like the Jamaican slider turtle in terms of size and shell shape and coloring, but it does also have a red ear. So if you're used to looking at them, you can look at one and know that it's not a red ear slider because it's sort of the size and shape are, more akin to the Jamaican slider, but the males do have red on the ear as well. It's like a longer, sometimes more orange red.
Mr. Calder says little is known about the Cuban slider turtles. He notes that more research is needed to find out how the species got to Jamaica in the first place. But Mr. Calder says it is theorized that the Cuban slider turtles may have been taken to Jamaica by the Tainos.
The thing about the Cuban turtle is that more research is needed, but it's theorized that they've been in Jamaica for a very, very long time, as in possibly pre-Columbian. So the Tainos may have moved with turtles between the islands as a keep-along food source, and it's quite possible that it was introduced to that section of the island by Tainos, and it's just been there. So there are pockets where there's like a mix of Jamaica/Cuban turtle, looking at genetics around that side of the island.
Damani Calder, Environmental Officer in the Ecosystems Management Branch at the National Environment and Planning Agency, NEPA. That's it for Pets World today. Tune in next time when we look at another type of turtle that is also found in Jamaica, the red-eared slider turtle.
Fearless and fair, Nationwide 90 FM.
Success, especially on the job, cannot grow if one has a bad or poor personality. This is Lifestyle Pages on how success is achieved. Many of us have the external traits and habits of a good personality, such as a lovely smile, a pleasant voice, a friendly attitude, and understand how to use tact and diplomacy to clear up unpleasant and awkward situations. Yes, these are all good signs of a good personality. But what is really underneath all these good signs? For you to achieve success in all areas of your life, you must be prepared to go and practice the habits that will allow for growth. A personality for success can only go when growth is based on deeper habits of mind and heart. We become confident when we know that our basic needs for food, clothing, and shelter are met. When this foundation is strong, we become more conscious of the personal traits and characteristics we build and improve on to show the world who we truly are. When we truly know ourselves, success is much easier to achieve. I'm Valerie, and those were Lifestyle Pages.
Nationwide 90 FM, continuing the tradition of fair, fearless, and factual reporting.
Jamaica, let's make road safety a priority. Slow down, stay focused. Remember, every life matters. The time brought to you by the JIS is...
News time, 7 o'clock.
From the ground up, let's rebuild stronger, safer, better than before. National Supply, powering Jamaica's comeback. The temperature by National Supply is
24 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 19 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
The most credible news in the morning. The news at 7 on Nationwide 90 FM.
Coming up in the news at 7 today, Wednesday, January 21, 2026, the lower house approves amendments to the Financial Investigations Division Act. Former Prime Minister Bruce Golding says defendants should have the option of choosing whether they want a jury or a bench trial. Presiding judge in Noel Maitland murder trial urges jury to put their emotions aside and make a decision based only on the evidence. In international news, Spain records second commuter train crash in as many days.
If it's news, it's got to be Nationwide 90 FM.
Now to the details. The House of Representatives on Tuesday passed amendments to the Financial Investigations Division FID Act. Finance Minister Favour Williams piloted the bill.
This bill, contained in the proposal to amend the FID Act, seeks to address the issues relating to independence and to ensure that FID complies with the Financial Action Task Force standards and principles of Egmont, thus maintaining membership. Further, Mr. Speaker, the amendment is also pertinent to ensure that Jamaica is better prepared for the fifth round of the Financial Action Task Force mutual evaluation, as international cooperation is one of the focus areas to test for effectiveness.
The Egmont Group facilitates and prompts the exchange of information, knowledge, and cooperation among member financial units, FIUs. It provides FIUs with a platform to securely exchange expertise and financial intelligence to combat money laundering, terrorist financing, and associated predicate crimes. Among the amendment is a move to allow the FID to share information in relation to financial crimes.
The FID may exchange information with the bodies mentioned before to enable the division or that body or financial intelligence department or association of departments to exercise regulatory functions, including the conduct of civil, criminal, or administrative investigations and proceedings to enforce laws administered, requiring in the new subsection 4 that the FID to enter into a memorandum of understanding or other arrangements with the public body or foreign financial intelligence department or association before the disclosure of information.
Favour Williams, Finance Minister. give accused persons the choice of a judge-only or jury trial depending on the matter before the court. That's the position of former Prime Minister Orit Bruce Golding, who has served as a jury foreman. He was weighing in on the debate about whether trial by jury should maintain its place in the court system, and he was speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday. Mahiri Stewart reports.
Bruce Golding says a proper debate is necessary in order to determine the correct way for trials to continue. He wants to see accused persons get a choice between the two options based on the case.
I believe we need a robust debate on this. I believe that we should end up with a situation where some cases would be reserved for judge only and other cases would be subject to jury trial, with the option be open to the accused person as to whether or not he wants to be tried in a jury situation.
There have been widespread discussions on the matter after Chief Justice Brian Sykes renewed his call for judge-alone trials. According to him, the dependence on jury trials continues to create backlogs in the justice system. Shortly after his call, Justice Minister Delroy Chuck announced that a joint select committee of Parliament is to be established to examine matters relating to the Jury Act, including whether trial by jury should remain in place. Noted defense attorney King's Counsel Peter Champagny argues that there's nothing injurious about the current hybrid system, where some cases are tried by a judge alone while others are placed before a jury. Mr. Golding is concerned that a jury's lack of legal know-how could lead to poorly decided verdicts.
When a jury made up of persons who are not trained in law sit in the jury room to deliberate, one of the things that worry me is that they cannot be expected to understand legal precedent. So that lawyers understand that, judges understand that, but they may very well end up rendering a verdict that goes against long-established legal precedent.
Still, the former Prime Minister further argued that juries are important due to their societal integration and lack of politicization in certain situations.
Juries tend to reflect societal norms and values, not just legal technicalities.
Yes.
And therefore they are able to understand context in a way that judges might not. Another argument in favor of juries is the fact that in countries where judges are politically appointed, juries provide a backstop, a buffer, to ensure that decisions and verdicts are not politically tainted.
Mahiri Stewart for Nationwide News.
Meanwhile, another former juror, Michael Gale, agrees with Bruce Golding that jurors are valuable to the process based on their lived experience.
I think it's best to use juror because I think some places definitely need other opinion, just not a judge's opinion.
But the judge is very learned in the law, yeah? Some jurors are not.
Yeah, but for the main fact, it's not some jurors are not. We're just ordinary citizens and we know stuff as well. A judge will call down a verdict based on what is presented. Likewise, a normal citizen. And when you are in the courthouse, and the judge pointed out to you as well that your judgment must be on the evidence that presented, not what you just did. You're looking at what presented, what you're listening to, and it has to make sense.
Michael Gale, former juror, speaking on Nationwide at 5 on Tuesday. Opposition spokesperson on Justice Zuleika Jesse is questioning the process by which the government is seeking to pass amendments to the Jury Act. She was speaking in the House of Representatives on Tuesday.
I feel very strongly, Mr. Speaker, that it is only good practice and good governance that if we're going to send a bill to Joint Select Committee to have a comprehensive overview of the bill, of the Act, then why not send it to Joint Select Committee first and then allow us as members in this House to have a thorough and in-depth discussion as to be able to make a more informed decision.
Among the amendments are an increase in the stipend for jurors and allowing trials without a jury present. Under Section 42A, the amendments would allow the prosecution to apply for a trial to be conducted without a jury where there is evidence of a real and present danger of jury tampering. In such cases, the judge must be satisfied that jury tampering is likely despite protective measures. But Jess is asking why the decision rests solely with the prosecution.
Why not allow for the defense to have an opportunity to make that application if it so desires? Why not allow for the judge on its own volition to make that particular determination if it so desires? Why does the section seek to limit this opportunity to make an application to only the prosecution? And it is worthy of consideration because when I reviewed the Criminal Justice Administration Act, that only applies if that position is taken or that election is made prior to a jury being empaneled. So it's important, if there is going to be this option being provided for in the Jury Act, then the prosecution, the defense, and the judge ought to be afforded an opportunity.
Zuleika Jess, opposition spokesperson on justice. Put emotion aside and decide only on the evidence before you. Those are the instructions of presiding judge Justice Leighton Pusey to the 7-member jury who will consider Noel Maitland's fate. The police constable is charged with the July 2022 murder of his girlfriend, social media influencer Donnelly Donaldson. He's also charged with the unlawful burial of her body, which has never been recovered. Judge Pusey started his summation of the case on Tuesday in the Supreme Court. Robian Williams was there.
Justice Leighton Pusey reminded the jurors that they and they alone are the judges of fact. He explained that while he ruled on matters of law and managed the proceedings, their role is to decide what they believe and what they do not. The judge urged the panel to examine the entire case, cautioning them against speculation, guesswork, or imagination. In particular, he addressed issues raised during the trial about Noel Maitland's baby mother, Katiana Smith. Justice Pusey warned jurors not to leap to conclusions simply because she's not before the court. He stressed that jurors must not guess that any person must have done this or that. Instead, he explained their task is to draw only reasonable inferences, common-sense conclusions, grounded firmly in evidence, and leading to certainty beyond a reasonable doubt. The judge emphasized that jurors must approach the case neutrally, free from emotion, hype, or external influence. He said, "As judges, we are not concerned about emotion. We follow the evidence beyond a reasonable doubt." Justice Pusey reminded them to ignore headlines, social media commentary, and public opinion, and to rely solely on what was presented in court. The jurors were urged to carefully assess the testimony of more than 30 witnesses and the more than 40 exhibits tendered in evidence, weighing each witness based on credibility and communication and not dismissing any evidence outright. Justice Pusey said, "You come to this case with an open and impartial mind. Examine the evidence, check the evidence, and decide whether it makes you feel sure." He also commended the jury for working together throughout the trial, noting that collaboration is part of the foundation in reaching a just verdict. The trial resumes on Thursday morning at 10 when Justice Pusey will continue his summation. The trial now enters its most decisive stage as the jurors are expected to retire and begin deliberations on Thursday in a case that has gripped the nation. Robian Williams for Nationwide News.
Thank you, Robian. 24 decommissioned buses owned by Jamaica Urban Transit Company, JUTC, were destroyed in a fire at the company's Rockford depot in St. Andrew on Tuesday afternoon. In a statement to the media, JUTC says the incident happened just before 3 p.m. The company says thick black smoke was observed coming from the northwestern section of the facility at about 2:50 p.m. The fire brigade and the constabulary force were notified and responded within 10 minutes. JUTC says 4 fire units were deployed and the blaze was quickly brought under control. No injuries were reported. The state-owned bus company says there was no damage or exposure to its active rolling stock, stores, or critical operational facility. It says depot operations were not affected. With less than 2 weeks to go before the cashless transition of the Jamaica Urban Transit Company JUTC Rural School Bus Program, close to 8,000 students have registered for the service. Corporate Communications Manager at JUTC, Chantal Thompson, gave our news center an update on Tuesday afternoon. The rural bus program services between 16 and 18,000 students across the island. Starting February 1, students will no longer pay cash to access the service, but will instead use a card system. The Transport Minister, Daryl Vaz, had expressed concern in early January about the number of students registered for the service. But Ms. Thompson told our news centre that the JUTC is taking measures to get as many students registered as possible before February 1.
I'm not so concerned. If one thing that we have noticed with the Jamaicans, we're very last minute. We are putting out the communications. We are going into the different regions. We also have our bus drivers with registration forms in case you don't have access to the internet. We sent bulletins to the different schools. We're starting out handing out flyers this week. We are also facilitating registration for persons who need help filling out the form at the Halfway Tree Transport Center in the customer care area.
Chantal Thompson, Corporate Communications Manager at JUTC. The opposition PNP says the reduction of the U.S. travel advisory is a welcomed boost for Jamaica's tourism recovery efforts following last October's passage of Hurricane Melissa. On Saturday last, the United States government revised the travel advisory for Jamaica, downgrading it to from level 3 to level 2. Opposition spokesman on tourism, Andrea Perkis, says the adjustment comes at a critical moment for the tourism industry, particularly for workers and communities along the north coast and western parishes. She says the change signals renewed confidence in Jamaica as a destination, even as efforts continue to rebuild after the destruction caused by the Category 5 hurricane. Perkis is optimistic the Level 2 advisory will encourage bookings, support airline traffic, and help hotels and attractions move closer to full operation. A Level 2 advisory encourages visitors to travel with increased caution. A 68-year-old Canadian man is suspected to have drowned off the coast of is suspected to have drowned off the coast of Negril in Hanover on Monday afternoon. The deceased has been identified as Jean D'Amour of Etobicoke, Ontario in Canada. She was vacationing in Negril. Reports are that about 1:50 p.m. D'Amour was aboard a boat when it was struck by a large wave. The Canadian reportedly fell into the water and encountered difficulties. The Canadian was pronounced dead at the Savannah Lamar Hospital. An item of regional news now. CARICOM Chairman Dr. Terence Drew has disclosed that countries that refuse to accept third country nationals from the United States risk indirect sanctions. He says countries could face visa restrictions and difficulties in international banking exchanges. Drew, who's also Prime Minister of St. Kitts and Nevis, says Washington is pressuring Caribbean nations into cooperating. Several Caribbean governments have so far signed a memorandum of understanding to host asylum seekers deported from the U.S. They include Antigua and Barbuda, Dominica, St. Lucia and St. Kitts Nevis. Guyana, Belize and Barbados have indicated they are considering the agreement. In Barbados, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Kerry Simmons, has said that the pressure exerted by Washington is difficult for small island economies to resist. International news. A commuter train derailed near Barcelona on Tuesday after a containment wall fell on the track due to heavy rain. The driver was killed and 37 passengers injured, 4 of them seriously. The accident comes just 2 days after a high-speed train collision and a derailment in the southern Cordoba province, which killed 42 people. In a separate incident on Tuesday night, Spanish rail operators say traffic south of Girona, also part of the Barcelona commuter rail network, was interrupted due to a train axle coming off the track. Several countries have moved to restrict travel for Americans after the United States expanded its travel ban and suspended visa processing for dozens of nations. The African nations of Chad, Niger, Burkina Faso, and Mali have all stopped issuing visas for American citizens. Officials have described the measures as reciprocal actions, citing what they say is unequal treatment of their citizens by U.S. immigration authorities. In South Asia, Pakistan has also taken steps that will make travel more difficult for Americans. Pakistan was included on the list of countries for which the U.S. Department of State is pausing the processing of all immigrant visas effective January 21. That's the news.
Sign up for the JN Money Card. It's safe, convenient, and free. The time by JN Money is
7:17.
This season is the time. Digicel is gifted smile, give the smile, give the smile, give the smile. 64 people to win a grand prize, 250K to help you to give the smile. Plus groceries and farming supplies, keep your loved ones in mind. Give the smile, sharing the love from me to you. Samsung tablet video and your crew. Give the smile, give the smile. This season, make sure everybody good. Digital is helping you to give the smile, give the smile, give the smile.
If you have received a notification that your cargo is ready for pickup at Kingston Wharves Limited KWL, please do so immediately. Hurricane Relief Cargo has added to the regular seasonal shipments, impacting volume and capacity. We are open weekdays and every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Timely cargo collection by customers is essential. Contact us at 876-618-1068 for more information.
Time now for Street Smarts 2 with Ludlow McLean. Good morning again, Ludlow.
Good morning, George. And the lady says the motoring public or transport operators and our visitors, those are here and those are leaving and had a great time. Just to tell you that those of you in the Seaward Drive area, it is not too bad, but Olympic Way is quite active. And from Olympic Way coming off onto Bay Farm Road, Bay Farm is really active as they try to make it onto Waltham Park Road. And Waltham Park from Malines Waltham also has traffic, and it goes all the way down to the intersection of Waltham and Hatley. And by the way, Malines Road, lots of traffic there along Malines Road, heading towards Harper-Tree, Woodglen. If you try to make it onto Woodglen, you're going to have traffic too, and it takes you out to Hagley Park Road, and Hagley Park Road going up into the Harper-Tree Square area, quite active at the moment. Maxfield Avenue coming up, it's okay in the lower section, but it builds as you get closer to Harper-Tree. And those of you who are coming through the Richmond Park community, Richmond Park Avenue, Montgomery Avenue, these are the major areas. Queens Avenue, you're going to also meet traffic there. And going across the Lyndhurst Road, you're going to also have traffic. Some of the traffic is making it onto South Road, and then maybe they try to make their way back onto Harper-Tree Road, going through places like Cargill Avenue and all of that. Beechwood Avenue is the same thing, going out to Harper-Tree Road, and also Russell Road, and it goes across to the area that goes across into the Crossroads area, Retirement Road, where you also have traffic. Harper-Tree Road, quite active indeed, and Crossroads, very busy. Not to mention other areas, the lower section of Kingston there, Sly Pen Road, Slide Road, all these areas are carrying traffic. North Street is another area that has a lot of traffic, goes all the way out to Camp Road, South Camp Road. So it's a very busy morning, and no doubt traffic will continue, and many intersections will be busy right now. I only urge you to be disciplined as you approach the intersection. Do not block them. I urge you. As usual, at Street Smart, your safety is our concern. It's over to you, George.
Thank you very much, Ludlow there. Ludlow there with the Street Smarts 2. Up next, front page. Front Page is brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business. For those of you wondering about the completion of the story Tawna was telling yesterday about her food courier service experience, part 2 is when after 8?
Right.
After 8 this morning. So one of a friend of mine, let me tell you what she said to me.
Yes.
She's a senior pharmacist. She said to me, let me find it. She says, I'm leaving the car to go have my breakfast, but I want to know the end of the food delivery saga. It should be a news item. So I told her that, no man, you can't go on. She'll most likely do it after 8. She says, okay, by the way, I love Tawna Thomas.
Good morning to you.
So the fans are waiting.
Yes,
them are waiting.
I've committed to completing that story because, the company did reach out.
Speaking of story, on the front page?
Yes, on the front page this morning, we bring you a nationwide production. Some of you have seen it, have been reacting to it. Some of you have not. A Deadly Ritual, the Kevin Smith story.
His Excellency at work.
Can I tell you?
His Excellency at work.
You will not play it.
Can I tell you?
Yeah.
I've not seen it yet.
Good.
When it was being played, I was on my way to Sainty.
Yeah.
And so I heard the talk around it, and of course the producer was calling me and telling me what the reactions were. But having participated in the production and being integral to the development of the script and everything, I have an idea of what it is. But there are some elements that I didn't know about, and I've heard people everywhere say me a rave about.
Yeah.
So I decided purposefully. I was tempted about 5 times I said to watch it, and I said no, I'm gonna watch it organically on the show.
So you get
react,
real-time reactions.
So here we go.
I say good that you haven't watched it yet. So this morning, guys, you're gonna get real-time reactions from George to the nationwide production.
Nightfall, October 17, 2021. Police swooped down on the Pathway International Kingdom Restoration Ministries in Montego Bay, St. James. They were responding to a report that a human sacrifice was taking place inside the church. More than 100 followers had gathered. They were all dressed in white robes. The head of the church was the self-styled prophet to the nations, His Excellency, Dr. Kevin O. Smith. The sacrifice involved senior members of the church stabbing and slashing several congregants. They were brainwashed into believing that they'd be embarking on a heavenly journey. 2 of the church members were killed in the ritual.
Time to pick up the sword is now. Remember that Yeshua walked with his disciples who had their sword. He told them to put it up because the time will come when you're going to need to pull it out. And so that time is now.
I saw them all dressed up in white, and I thought there was baptism going on. I hear the gunshot them firing on Sunday evening. About 5 to 75 after 7.
On the day of the gruesome ordeal, Dr. Smith had posted to Facebook a request of his followers. They were told to leave their mobile phones at home before heading to the church. He warned them of an oncoming flood. One of the members, it's reported, snuck a phone into the church. That member called police after witnessing the horror of another congregant being killed. The question you are asking is, who was Dr. Kevin O. Smith?
I am the fountain of life. I am the Catherine Peak. I come from St. Catherine. That's why you gave me water from where I come from. St. Catherine, Jamaica is where I was born. I have fulfilled all things.
Kevin Smith was born in Glengough, northern St. Catherine, into a humble and struggling family. That family earned its living through farming. A former principal of Grateful Hill Primary in St. Catherine, David Bowes, says he knew Smith and his family from as far back as the 1980s.
And the young man's parents, not well-to-do parents, struggling parents like all the parents in Glengough. But they would always attend school, and I don't know about his church connection, right? Playful teachers have had any problem with it.
Many residents of the Sleepy community said Smith grew up in the church. They say Smith's maternal side had a history of mental illness.
When I was in chapel, when they mad, what did I say? Madman. Depending on them family, but I was sent to Kevin. I was a Kevin. And don't take it from his father's side. Take for the mother.
Smith migrated to Canada in 1993, 3 months after passing his exams for Jamaica College, one of Jamaica's most prestigious all-boys high schools. It has produced 2 prime ministers, 1 national hero, and scores of cabinet ministers and captains of industry.
He migrated to Canada. Him and his mom and his little sister. You never see my Kevin.
Smith's family moved to Martin Grove in Ontario, an inner-city community in Canada. From as young as age 14, Kevin Smith was identified as a preacher of great potential. He returned to Jamaica in 2011 amid allegations that he had sexually assaulted a man. Smith was convicted for burglaring a 21-year-old man on November 5, 2007 in Canada. He served 6 months in a prison in Canada and was given 2 months probation. When Smith returned to Jamaica, he immediately established his ministry. The members of his congregation were convinced that Smith was touched by God and did indeed possess supernatural powers. One of his followers, Ezra, says he saw demons being exorcised from people.
I was amazed in seeing, how he preached, and people have been surrendering their lives there. People would be having demon possessed and so on. They get deliverance from that and they pray for them. And I was growing up in church, so I like church. So I heard of things happening there, so I keep on visiting there.
Another church member, Fred, was awestruck by the charismatic pastor.
What I saw there was something different from what I would have experienced from a regular church. My traditional church that I used to go to, I used to visit other charismatic church, like Pentecostal ministers who operate in the seer anointing, we call it prophetic anointing. And that was what attracted me. He was a prophet based on what I saw in the service.
When you stand before him, he can even tell you your age without you tell him. And so he knows things without you tell him. And I think that is what convinced people a lot that, he's a man of God, he's a prophet.
He said to me, you look young, but you seem to be old. And he told me my age, and I confessed my age. And he said to me that each time I start something in life, it's like it starts and it doesn't come, it never finish. When I reflect on what he said, it's true. I had experience in my life where things started out good and then it just eventually just never complete.
Fred says he paid $300 to be part of Smith's ministry.
I started with a consultation with him, and he has weekly consultation. He call it the clinic. It was $50. So whatever the currency price at the time, you pay the $50. He explained why he charged it. He said that he has his doctoral degree, and what he did is basically is a profession. So he trained for what he did, because he was a psychopathic counselor, if I'm correct, with the career description, along with his gifting being a prophet. So that's the reason why he charged. He told us in church why he charged. He told me something about my life, my past lifestyle, and I admit to it. I was impressed by what he said to me. By then I decided to get baptized. But not only the consultation, he said I have to do deliverance, but I have to pay for the deliverance fee. At that time it was $250 just the consultation fee.
What tithe is your 1/10 of her 1/10? For her $50,000, $5,000 my tithe.
The counsel for the Montego Bay West Division in the St. James Municipal Corporation, David Brown, says he was told that some people had to pay a late fee to enter the church.
I heard somebody saying that, he charges late fees for people coming into church. He has to enter the church building before and perform a closed-door ceremony before the congregation can enter the church. So hearing those things, I thought, wow, that practice is very strange. But once again, who am I to judge?
Money played a huge part in Smith's ministry. He ordered followers not to put any $100 notes in the offering plate. The inference being $100 too small. One woman, a Miss Vicky, who lived next door to Smith's church, says she visited once. She was awestruck by what she saw.
When he started preaching, he wasn't even preaching. In cussing them out, in telling them how they must do, how much money they must throw. No $100, strictly $500, $1,000, $5,000, and you can write the checks also. And US dollars from 20, 50, 100.
Jamaica, stop the killing and give up the guns. Just live good now.
The time brought to you by the Ministry of National Security and Peace is
7:34.
This season is the time. Digital is gifting smiles. Gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile. 64 people to win a grand prize. 250K to help you to gift a smile. Plus groceries and farming supplies. Keep your loved ones in mind. Gift a smile. Sharing the love from me to you. Samsung tablet video and your crew. Gift a smile, gift a smile. This season, make sure everybody good. Digital is helping you to gift a smile, gift a smile, gift a smile.
You know, it's a joke thing every time you don't use a T-Tag. I mean, with a T-Tag, your 10th trip every week is free. And for every trip after that for the same week, it's 10% off. So yeah, wait, Pam. Get your T-Tag today and drive like the winner you are every time.
Save money and save time. If you don't have a tag, you are waste time. Yeah, your seatbelt buckle and you're driving safe. Use up your T-Tag, drive and save. Drive like the winner you deserve to be with the T-Tag every time.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies including plugs, switches, panel boards and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Welcome back to Nationwide this morning, playing to you a documentary we have prepared on Kevin Smith, self-styled faith healer and man of God. The production is entitled A Deadly Ritual, The Kevin Smith Story, Part 2.
To his followers, Kevin Smith was nothing short of royalty. He was a king they paid handsomely to have hold court in church in their presence.
I'm the shepherd, you're the sheep. So you know that you all have to worship me because I am in charge, just like how a mother would be in charge of her children. I didn't give a damn child. Me do want some of the money with them collect. 4 times for the night in collect money.
Despite the revelations and despite what appears to be a cult following around him, Ezroy believes Kevin Smith was indeed a good man. According to Ezroy, Kevin Smith was a man of God.
Seems to be a good person. He said he's a prophet and, he predicts things and we see it come to pass. He preached very dynamic and powerful and, as a person who used to Pentecostal church and so on and things, and you see a person so vibrant and he's educated and, the charisma about him is just awesome, so we just gravitate to his church.
And so Pastor Smith was a godlike figure to his followers. According to Miss Vicky, this was evident in the manner in which they greeted him at church.
As when he comes, you can know, Yes, when he comes in, everybody have to be clapping and bowing in front of him, which I went there one Sunday night and I saw that happen. They keep bowing to him and clapping and bowing and they spread carpet out and he walks from his car right around the church, right up to the rostrum where he is. And where he sits is like a throne. Nobody else won't sit up here unless he invites them up here. So.
Miss Vicky says she saw an eclectic collection of personalities true to Smith's church week after week. She saw scammers, politicians, and entertainers go to visit with the man who insisted that he be referred to as His Excellency.
We read of people, because people used to go over there. I used to read these people go over there.
What kind of reading?
What be a man say? I see it with my own eyes. I see some real big cars. I mean, it's either scammer, gunman, or some politician carry them.
But according to Ezroy, there were troubling signs. During the COVID-19 lockdown, Ezroy said Kevin Smith's message started changing, and he began to wonder if His Excellency was developing a mental illness.
Totally listen to some of his latest message and I said, something is wrong with his head. And I said to myself, if I were visiting church regularly, I would have said to somebody because I pick it up.
Smith's meltdown was fatal. 2 people died and a nation was traumatized. Tanika Gardner was one of the 2 persons whose lives were ended on that cool October night. She died leaving 2 grown children. Her son, who we'll call Alex to protect his identity, says his mother was a good person.
She was more like a jovial person. Very kind. She was nice.
Alex says Tanika Gardner left him with his father at only 2 months old. She came back into his life at 16 when he was in high school.
I don't grow with my mother. My father always tell me say from me at 2 months old. My mother left me with him. And he grew me from me at 2 months old. Right up till I turn big boy and send me to school and do every little thing. He don't make me short enough. Since
so when
me get
did she
big.
Come back in your life?
Since me get big when me about 16, 17.
Alex says he has no idea why his mother chose Pathway International Kingdom Restoration Ministries. He says he couldn't know the motivation because his mother was highly secretive.
She's a secretive person. Just see if she knows say she will say something to you and she know your reaction, she just say something to make you feel like say she with you. If you not go fear away.
He says all his mother would say when he inquired about why she chose that church was that things would get better soon.
One night time, she tell me say everything's alright and even one night time she tell me say alright and I need to go look about your passport. If she get a chance to go, she just do what she have to do and go there which part she did.
Alex says he believes that Pathway International Kingdom Restoration Ministries was for people who wanted to move up in life.
The people who got at the church, it's like some go for riches, making life better, in a better job or to step up in a job
be a supervisor, something like that.
What money you spend here, don't think you're gonna leave and go to another church and prosper. You cannot prosper. You have to be here because I am your leader. I am in charge of your life.
But once you be indisciplined based on his findings, he dismiss you. And he said, I remove his covering. His covering means that he's no longer praying for you, nothing like that. He stopped. And if members see you on the road, they must not be dealing with you, no talking. They must just ostracize you.
He says he visited the church twice and had what he describes as an unbelievable experience.
Well, the first time, nothing never really happened. More than me just like, the pastor preach and you know, that call up few people and he start talk or he do whatever he do. They would like drop down and normally, I go to church and you know people get in the street and everything. But not the way how I see them go another church. Normally when you go to church and you know say, you would get in the street then. You would say hallelujah and them, you understand? But them, I'll definitely talk to them one another and they sit there. If the man they talk to you, somebody punish them when he do what he do to them. He claim to say I do to what in I people they may talk to him.
One thing he says he never quite got to grips with was how late the church services began and how late they ended.
Some board at a church where me I say, what make a night then if you keep church? What make a can in a day half a night? And when you left church all 2 o'clock in the next morning, 2 a.m. in the morning or 3 o'clock in the morning, you left from your yard like 4 or 5 o'clock in the evening. So my time you now come back till all Monday morning.
Alex says that on his second visit to the church, he actually had a conversation with His Excellency, Dr. Kevin Smith.
She invited me to church the second time. He just called up some people. And in the day I talked to me and everything. Like when me go to school, I never have no lunch money to go to school most of the day. Them are sitting. My father could hardly find money and my father shot people that only know all of them is sitting. And he never seen me.
Alex saw his mother 2 weeks before her death. She told him to pack his belongings because a storm was coming. She sold all her belongings, waiting for the great storm to come.
And he started telling me that I have to buy up food, job, money what I have in a account, and one bag of something. And I said, what make you tell me that? He must say, pastor, tell him, Daddy he call him. So Daddy said, flood will come and crank out gone. And I said, oh, you know that, I nobody else know that. All they tell me, so, why go on to New York and nobody can go fight. So if me have nobody over there, if you call him and tell him to come in.
He said it wasn't just a flood, he said a tsunami. He said that the globalists, whoever the elites, a group of elites, they are planning series of attacks on the world, and that was one of them. He said the tsunami was not going to just be a natural thing. It's going to be like a man-made. He spoke about a system called HAARP. I said the HAARP system would have been what would cause the earthquake, and the tsunami would follow after these mega earthquakes.
Saturday, the night before the deadly attack, Dr. Smith told his congregation to come to church.
He instructed us to come this Saturday, dressed in white. When we got to the property, we were told that we need white linens. We should have an offering of $1,444 and Jamaican and flour. Cornmeal, I should say, not flour, cornmeal. My studies after that day, I asked the question what the cornmeal was about. It's a part of a ritual. The Indians, the ancient Indians in America, they would use it for ritual purpose.
In our research, we found cornmeal has held significant ritual importance in various cultures, particularly among Native American Pueblo and ancient Egyptian civilizations, where it was associated with death, rebirth, and the sustenance for the spirit in the afterlife. So, cornmeal is used as a sustenance for the spirit in the afterlife? Does this indicate that Kevin Smith was planning to send his followers into the afterlife?
For all your scales and food processing equipment, call Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited at 876-968-9612 to 5. The time by Advanced Scales and Equipment Limited is
7:48.
Hawkeye expresses heartfelt sympathy to all Jamaicans impacted by Hurricane Melissa. As we recover together, we remain committed to securing what matters most. The temperature by Hawkeye is
24 degrees Celsius in Kingston, 25 degrees Celsius in Montego Bay, 21 degrees Celsius in Mandeville.
Jamaica's largest tile selection just got even bigger. Discover what's new at Active Home Center. With our latest arrivals, it's easier than ever to make your space truly unique. Explore ocean blues, botanical greens, and soft sandy neutrals that bring a calm, effortless vibe. From bold patterns to sleek, large format tiles in glossy or matte finishes, every room makes a statement. Shop now at Active Kingston and Montego Bay. Active Home Center. More savings, more choices.
Get a deal, share a smile and win with Digicel. Own a brand new Samsung Galaxy smartphone for as low as $9,500 plus tax when you buy a SIM. Activate a 28-day plan or switch to Digicel. And here's the best part, you could win $250,000 cash. The Digicel Gift of Smile promotion is authorized under Section 58.3 of the Betting, Gaming and Lotteries Act. Promotion period December 1, 2025 to January 24, 2026. Visit DigicelJamaica.com for more ways to win and more reasons to smile this season. Digicel, reconnecting Jamaica, one smile at a time.
If you have received a notification that your cargo is ready for pickup at Kingston Wharves Limited KWL, please do so immediately. Hurricane Relief Cargo has added to the regular seasonal shipments, impacting volume and capacity. We are open weekdays and every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Timely cargo collection by customers is essential. Contact us at 876-618-1068 for more information.
Welcome back to the front page, part 3 of A Deadly Ritual, the Kevin Smith story, a nationwide 90 FM production. Sonia Stewart.
Sunday at the church, Pathway International Kingdom Restoration Ministries. Just after 5 a.m., Miss Vicky was listening to Alex's mother's final moments.
Do you believe I am God?
Yes, Pastor.
Andre, come.
She heard shots.
We hear 2 more shots at the time the police were coming up, because there's a police force at 2nd Street up the top, and those police that came up here and called for assistance. So by the time those 2 Jeep load of police were up there, we saw 3 Jeep soldiers coming up, and they park up right in front of my gate there, and they run on up and they tell them to back on the other side, go back on the other side. And they don't. Some were outside and some inside, and they all run up and inside the yard. And the police them say, no, come on, move from there. And the door was locked. And the police started telling the soldiers went up there and police to the door, and they say, open the door, this is the police. Police and the soldiers and go around to the side. I was knocking the window and telling them, open the door. And they wouldn't open the door until I think is one of the soldiers grabbed the door and they started shaking it, and somebody from inside pulled the door. And when they went in now, they saw the scene. That gruesome scene what is inside there.
Alex says that on the night of his mother's death, a strange feeling engulfed him.
In the kitchen of familiar. Normally when I go dog in a lane, but normally when I go in, I would have one dog bark off for me. I didn't just bark on top. But the NIA, as me touch in a lane, I just feel one different feeling. You understand? I just not feel right like how I would feel any other night. So I go up on my yard, pull my door and go in. But what me feel, I say, no man, something wrong man. I start sweat from head to toe. And I say, Father God, what is for me? Only for me last night, sir. See me, I say, come back out, take off my clothes, come back out the door and come in the house, back way. I don't feel like I feel in there again. Turn up the door and I say, no man, sitting alright, sitting bored at night. I did hear dog them start bark. After 12 to 1 in time, you know. Dog them start bark and sitting. Dog start hoon and sitting. I always hear them say. So anytime you hear them sitting, somebody go there. You understand? Guess what? Only if you know say the dog them talk to me, but true me can't understand say I thought him talk to me or tell me say somebody for me dead or somebody dead. Anyway, I did and listen to them till end top. When end top, I go lay down. Say yes, Father God, thank you for your next night. Go up to live to see you next day and go on my bed.
Alex says he frantically called his uncle only to learn that his mother had passed.
Uncle asked me, say, you are going. I say, no. I start make up my face and I say, I could have walked. Same time I say, oh, you see your mother did. I say, tell me, mother, I'm take your phone from me. Yes. Remember, say, I know my phone. Because my dad mash up the phone. I just hang up the phone. I had him full of water.
Kevin Smith was arrested for the murder of a congregant inside his church. On October 25, 2021, Smith was being transported to Kingston in a police convoy when a crash occurred. He died in the crash. At the time, many felt the crash was a result of Smith using his supernatural powers to prevent the system from locking him in a jail cell in Kingston. They felt he caused the crash and left his body to exist in the supernatural realm. Some people, many of his hardcore believers, still think he's with us today in the land of the living.
When I heard, I told them, he's not dead. I don't believe his heart is eager to die.
The Bible is a powerful thing, and the Bible does speak about false prophets and people who use the name of Jesus Christ for nefarious activity. And the Bible does say that I'm a jealous God and my judgment will be swift and resolute.
He is dead. He is dead.
Kevin O. Smith will be remembered as the charismatic cult leader of Pathway International Kingdom of Montego Bay St. James, who drove fear in his congregants, caused wonderment for those not a part of his church, and forced the nation to seriously examine its spiritual core. Smith's behavior as a charismatic leader of a church is not new to the Caribbean. One of the greatest cult leaders, Jim Jones, killed over 900 people, including children, in Guyana. Jones was an American cult leader who gained popularity in the 1960s and 70s. Like Smith, Jones preyed on those who were bullied, downtrodden, and those who felt rejected by the world. Jones created his own religion, the People's Temple, which gained a large following due to Jones's charisma and incredible ability to wow a crowd. His cult moved with him to the South American country of Guyana, where they created their own commune. This would later become the setting of one of the largest American civilian casualties in a single non-natural event. Jones encouraged his congregants to commit mass suicide, resulting in over 900 deaths by drinking Kool-Aid laced with poison. There are some questions that the religious community must answer. 1. Who interrogates the churches? 2. Should the government have an oversight body to maintain certain governance principles and practices at so-called churches? And 3. If it did, would we have detected the issues that signaled that there were indeed deep problems at Dr. Kevin Smith's Pathway International Kingdom Restoration Ministries?
At the age of 9 years old, the angel of the Lord came and spoke to this body and asked me if I will give the eternal yes. I have given the eternal yes. I came as Jonah the warner, but they mocked me and they scoffed me. They surrounded me and they looked at me and said, "Who is this man?"
Wow.
Yeah. And a lot of comments are coming in, George, reacting to the documentary. Blessed Marcia Favor says the documentary is very educational, but it should not be taken as a means of not serving God. When you see these signs in a pastor, run for your life.
Excellent message from Marcia.
And KLJ says, no, $100, you think a club? Because of what was said in the documentary about Kevin Smith not accepting $100 as offering at his church. Instead, he's asking for $5,000. And Patrick says, people are so willing to pay such high prices to the unknown everlasting life. Mildred says, Kevin Smith's story speaks to how some Jamaicans are gullible and ignorant. This man is clearly, or was clearly, a mental case who believes that he had supernatural powers. Mercy, Lord. Stargaze says, we need to think critically and study some things for ourselves. Stop just listening to people because we blindly trust, and that applies in and out of church. And Shandy says, and these are the persons that kept saying that they're poor, they can't find money to pay, but they can find money to pay in USD to attend a church. And Linda says, is all of this an effort to try and teach dunce-foo-foo people with itching ears? And Verona says, good reminder, people will know the truth and must believe in God's commandments instead of believing lies. And a final one here that I'm seeing, S8 says, NNN, when I met me late for my appointment again. Story mesmerizing.
Well, you know, the gentleman at the end saying, or the gentleman saying that he doesn't believe he's dead, only to be contrasted by Miss Vicky. I'm dead!
Listen, Miss Vicky, boy, she had stories for days.
What an eyewitness.
The neighbor. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know, that church member that went against the instructions and took the phone to church and was able to call the police.
Yeah.
Because if not for that, maybe it could have been worse.
Yeah.
More people could
It would have
died.
been worse.
Yeah.
It would have, I believe it would have
That
been
church.
a slaughter inside the church had the police not intervened. And clearly, if the person in contemplation of breaking the rule say, all right, I'll go and bring my phone. They'd been having doubts before.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah? They were saying, no, man, something all right, over there. You know?
But you know, George, it's and this is why, as somebody was saying, documentaries like a documentary like this is so important for people to watch and understand and really use their instincts when you're entering into, you know, religious organizations or whatever. Listen, man, look and see when the red flags are right there in front of you. I mean, who could tell me to come to a church, leave my phone, wear full white, and bring cornmeal?
Yeah. I want to say special thanks for this production to Sonia Stewart. Yeah, she really did move mountains to make this happen. Congratulations, Sonia. Well done. And we apologize for the poor audio quality in the first third. The other 2/3 were very good, the audio quality. We had a technical glitch before, but the technical guru cured that. All right. Thank you, Jermaine King.
Front Page was brought to you today by ABC Electrical Sales. For a better choice in the electrical business.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:01.
From the mountainside to seaside, countryside to townside, inside and outside, it's across Jamaica this morning.
Taking you across Jamaica for this morning, Wednesday, January 21, 2026, I'm Tawna Thomas. The National Water Commission, NWC, has announced a formal water trucking schedule for Barrowtown in St. James. The community, which has been without piped supply since Hurricane Melissa, will now receive truckings on Wednesdays. The water provider says the scheduled approach will replace the previous as-needed operation for more reliable and predictable relief. It says that the new arrangement is intended to ensure that residents have more consistent access to potable water while longer-term infrastructure works are carried out. According to the NWC, technical assessments have confirmed that approximately 500 meters of pipeline infrastructure were severely damaged as a result of the storm. It says the scope of the damage makes short-term reinstallation of the pipeline unsafe and impractical. Instead, the utility says it's working on an interim solution, which involves the installation of a relift pumping system from the main road to redistribute water into Barrettown. The work is scheduled to take up to 6 weeks to complete. Southeast Regional Health Authority, SERA, is enlisting the public's help policing food establishments. It's inviting people to report unsafe food practices observed to local health departments. Unsafe practices include poor personal hygiene, improper food storage, unsanitary conditions, and unsafe food preparation methods. Food establishments subject to reporting include restaurants and eateries, street and mobile food vendors, cook shops, bakeries, supermarkets and grocery stores, meat and fish markets, bars serving food, school canteens, and other food service outlets. SERA says compliance with food safety regulations is mandatory, as it's critical to preventing foodborne illnesses. It says timely reporting assists public health inspectors to take swift action to reduce health risks. The health departments served by SERA are Kingston and St. Andrew Health Department, St. Catherine Health Department, and the St. Thomas Health Department. Finally, in across Jamaica, the Office of the Information Commissioner, OIC, has introduced an activity booklet to educate high school students about the importance of protecting their personal information. It features puzzles, mazes, word games, and other interactive activities. Copies of the booklet were distributed to students at Arden High School last Thursday as part of the observance of Data Privacy Month. Distribution is expected to continue through school tours and outreach activities at other institutions. The Commission says the booklet is designed to test students' existing knowledge of data privacy and to educate them about practical ways to safeguard their personal data online and offline. It says the resource uses age-appropriate language and scenarios that reflect teens' everyday digital experiences. Data Privacy Month is being observed under the theme, Take Control of Your Data. The OIC statutory mandate under the Data Protection Act 2020 includes promoting public awareness, education, and understanding of data protection principles and individuals' rights regarding their personal data. That's it for Across Jamaica for this Wednesday morning.
You know, it's a joke thing every time you don't use a T-tag. I mean, with a T-tag, your 10th trip every week is free. And for every trip after that for the same week, it's 10% off. So yeah, wait, man. Get your T-tag today and drive like the winner you are, every time.
Save money and save time. If you don't have a tag, you are waste time. Yeah, your seatbelt buckle and you're driving safe. Use up your T-tag, drive and save.
Drive like the winner you deserve to be with the T-tag every time.
If you have received a notification that your cargo is ready for pickup at Kingston Wharves Limited KWL, please do so immediately. Hurricane Relief Cargo has added to the regular seasonal shipments, impacting volume and capacity. We are open weekdays and every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Timely cargo collection by customers is essential. Contact us at 876-618-1068 for more information.
Fit Nation is brought to you by Express Fitness 24/7. Your goal is our mission.
You wanna hot body? You want a Bugatti? You want a Maserati? You better work. You want a Lamborghini? Sip martinis, look hot in a bikini. You better work. You wanna live fancy, live in a big mansion, party in France. You better work. You better work. You better work. You better work. Now get to work.
That time of a Wednesday morning. It's time for Fit Nation. In Fit Nation this morning, focusing on Sagicor Sigma corporate run, which is seeking to raise $150 million for beneficiaries. So for 27 years, the Sagicor Sigma corporate run has united corporate Jamaica and individuals around a shared purpose, giving back and making a meaningful difference in the lives of Jamaicans. In response to the impact of Hurricane Melissa on the western parishes, this year's Run for the West aims to raise $150 million to assist 5 affected schools. For more on this year's edition of the Sagicor Sigma Corporate Run, I'm being joined by Manager of Group Corporate Communications at Sagicor Group Jamaica, Javon Keys. Keys, good morning.
Good morning, TT. Good morning, Nationwide listeners. Good morning, Nationwide family.
Good morning, good morning. How are you?
I am well and super excited because Sigma is back, and of course we have some very deserving causes this year, so I'm pretty excited this morning.
So am I. Before we go into this year's staging, give us an overview of last year's run.
So last year we had a target of $115 million, and we managed to raise $128 million, and our causes last year were in the health sector, and we were able to raise funds to support Kingston Public Hospital. We also raised funds to support Father Holong and Friends, and of course we were able to do that with the support of Jamaicans coming out for the run, which was on the 16th of February last year, and we were able to have one of the largest showings of the run, more than 30,000 participants, which, you know, had a ceiling. Sigma corporate run being the largest of its kind in the Caribbean. So, I mean, it was really a showing of support from Jamaicans coming out to ensure that our beneficiaries were able to receive the kind of help that they need and the support that they need to, you know, help to make a difference in lives, simply.
Yeah, and talk to us about this year's run. What can patrons expect?
Well, this year, we were, just before Hurricane Melissa, we were all set and ready for planning for this year's run. But of course, as Melissa came in and that Category 5 hurricane really ravaged the western portion of Jamaica, we knew that we had to pivot to ensure that we support the ways of getting, you know, Jamaica and the affected parishes in a space of rehabilitation. Yeah. So this year we aim to raise $150 million, and our focus this year is on education. Of course, we know schools are a big part of community development, and education is critical. So through partnership with the Ministry of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, we have 5 schools will be benefiting from the funds raised this year, and they are Salt Marsh Primary School in Trelawney, Mayfield Primary and Infant School in St. Elizabeth, Hopewell High in Hanover, Green Pond High in St. James, and Little London High in Westmoreland. So those schools will receive the funds raised from the run this year.
And on the day, any, you know, special things that you guys plan on doing on the day for patrons? What can they expect on the day?
Well, of course, once patrons register, and a reminder to our patrons that now is the time to do it because registration closed on January 31, there is always an expectation of a good time at Sagicor Sigma Run. I mean, our tagline usually is run for the fun, donate for the cause. This year we're running for the West. So, of course, patrons can expect the kind of camaraderie as usual. They can expect some what we call wow factors, photo moments. We're also going to have some setups that will depict our sustainability focus, because Sigma Goes Green continues. Last year we started that program. We're going to continue this year. So patrons can expect camaraderie. Patrons can expect some wow factors and some surprises on the road. And of course, a few entertainment surprises that we'll keep for now, but we just, Jamaicans know that when you come to Sagicor Sigma Corporate Run, it is always a good vibe running for a cause. And this year we're running for the West.
So the important details now, Keys, in relation to the date, how persons can register, the cost.
Certainly. So registration is open and we're encouraging Jamaicans to go ahead and register right now. It has been open since December and it is open for you to do so now. Registration closes on January 30. That's Friday, January 30. And guess what? To help to change more than 3,000 lives, because we're rehabilitating these schools that serve various communities, and in total we estimate that about 3,000 lives will be change in helping to get these students in a classroom and in a school that is properly equipped. For just $2,800 per individual, you get the opportunity to be a part of that impactful run that will help to change lives. If it is that you want to get a preferred start, because we offer that as well, then that's 5,000 Jamaican dollars, and of course, schools and colleges, just $1,500. If you are a part of a group and we have group rates, you can reach out to the team, but we just want you to know that, of course, we have our non-corporate group, that's teams ranging between 15 to 25 persons, about $67,500, and of course, you can reach out to this secretariat team all the way up to small corporate and large corporate teams. So we encourage persons to reach out to us, give us a call at the Sagicor Sigma Secretariat, and that contact number is 936, that's 876-936-798022, or email us at sjsigmasecretariat@sagicor.com, or simply just go to www.sagicorsigmarun.com. And I must point out, Tana, that while you can come to run, if you don't feel like running that morning, because, you know, I know so for some people, they might not have started their fitness journey yet, even though Sigma is a place to be to start that fitness journey. You know, you can run, you can walk, you can also wheel, but you can also sign up for a virtual run. Tana, I know you're fit and ready, so you're coming out to run, but if for some reason you feel like, you know, you probably want to, or maybe George wants to, you know, I know George is going to come out and run too, but maybe you want to do the virtual run or your friend's not fit enough, you can let them know. We offer that as well. And donations are also a part of how we raise funds. So there's so many ways to participate and donate to the causes.
Okay. And for the patrons now, remind us who the patrons are for this year.
So this year, we're so pleased to have on board entrepreneur and former Member of Parliament Lisa Hanna. She's one of our patrons, as well as Sportsman of the Year 2025, Oblique Seville. He is on board with us as well. And the man himself, the great entertainer, Ding Dong. So we're so happy to have these three patrons on board to help us drive home the cause to run for the West. And of course, we are going to be having a couple of engagements in the next couple of days that you'll be able to, you know, come on and support the cause, which may involve a few of them too. So you never know, if you show up to our Sigma pop-up shop, which happens on Fridays, you never know, you might see one of our patrons. And of course, we're going to also have our market on the terrace, which will take place this Friday. So you never know. We encourage you to come on out and support and get your Sigma shirts and sign up for Sigma Run.
And any other information that you're leaving out in relation to the run this morning that you want to plug now, Keys?
Well, I did point out that we do have a number of ways to support. So if it is that you want to write a check, you can simply write it to Sagicor Foundation Jamaica. We also have direct deposit to Sagicor Foundation Jamaica, and our account number is 550-290-7486. That's 550-290-7486, and of course it's Sagicor Bank. You can also donate your credit card points. So once you go to www.sagicorsigmarun.com, you can see all the ways to donate. So if you have credit card points that you're not using, Tana, you can utilize it to go ahead and support our causes. And of course, as I said, our Sigma Run pop-up shop. We're also going to have Pilates and brunch that's coming up. We're also going to have our market on the terrace, our pop-up shop. You can do a wire transfer. So there's so many ways to support. And of course, I could not leave Tana without talking about our sustainability initiative. So last year, we came with Sigma Goes Green, and we partnered with Pan Jamaica Group to ensure that we are collecting those plastic bottles as well as recycling partners of Jamaica as usual. But we also collected the scraps, the food waste that we were able to use to feed animals. We partnered with our farmers through JP, and we're doing that and doing it bigger and better. So we are going to be signing an MOU with various partners to solidify our Sagicor Goes Green initiative. So you'll be hearing more about that in the coming days. And of course, we can't wait to see how we can continue to advance the causes, support the West, and also go green, because our planet and environment is so critical to everything that we do.
And we here at Nationwide endorse both. That's the Sagicor Sigma corporate run. Thank you so much, Javon, for coming on this morning and speaking with us. Javon Keys, the manager of Group Corporate Communications at Sagicor Group Jamaica. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so very much for having us. And see you on February 15th.
Indeed. We will be there. All right, we take a break here on Nationwide. That's been it for Fit Nation. When we come back, we'll have more.
You want a hot body? You want a Bugatti? You want a Maserati? You better work. You want a Lamborghini? Sip martinis, look hot in a bikini. You better work.
Fit Nation was brought to you by Express Fitness 24/7. Your goal is our mission.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:19.
Fontana Pharmacy has a wide variety of items from pharmaceuticals, household, cosmetics, toys, and more. The temperature by Fontana Pharmacy, it's all good inside, is
27 degrees Celsius in capital city Kingston, 26 out west in Montego Bay, and in Mandeville, 21 degrees Celsius.
For all your electrical needs, visit ABC Electrical Sales. They stock a wide variety of electrical supplies, including plugs, switches, panel boards, and conduits, plus energy-saving fixtures. ABC Electrical Sales stocks brands like GE, Siemens, Philips, Cutler Hammer, and Allen Bradley. They also offer free island-wide delivery just to suit your needs. Visit them at Shop 8, Hagley Park Plaza, Kingston 10, or call 876-754-3714-5 or 876-754-3825-8. ABC Electrical Sales, for a better choice in the electrical business.
Following the passage of Hurricane Melissa, Jamaicans are urged to take precautions to prevent leptospirosis, a disease spread through contact with water, soil, or food contaminated by the urine of infected animals. Remember, avoid swimming, wading, or playing in floodwaters or any water that may have resulted from flooding. Avoid consuming food that may have been contaminated with floodwater or animal urine. Wear protective clothing and footwear when working or walking in areas that may be contaminated. And visit the nearest health center immediately if you experience fever, chills, muscle pain, or other flu-like symptoms. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Attention, doctors, scientists, veterinarians, estheticians, occupational therapists, and the general public, especially those affected by stroke, diabetes, autism, Alzheimer's, memory loss, or skin conditions. Join Jamaica's first New Age Regenerative Stem Cell Medicine Conference, January 31 to February 1, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Jamaica Conference Center. Learn from world-renowned experts, including Professor Mike Chan and Professor Jonathan Lakey, as they explore human and animal stem cell breakthroughs. Register at eventbrite.com or scdleapja.com.
Turn up the heat with Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classifieds feature. If you have a car for sale, room for rent, or yard sale come up. If you look at work or need stuff. If you provide a service, make it a Hot Listing, Nationwide 90 FM's new on-air and online classified segment. Your listing plays again and again. From morning till evening. You sing it, we play it. You say it once, Jamaica hears it all day, every hour. Contact our sales team now at 876-630-1210 or sales at nationwidenewsnetwork.com. Hot Listings on Nationwide 90 FM, a new revolution in media.
Attention all data protection enthusiasts. Tune in to Nationwide 90 FM every Tuesday at 8:20 a.m. and Thursday at 8:25 a.m. for a new program, Data Protection Matters. Starting June 4, 2024, join us as we delve into crucial topics that will keep you informed and compliant. Data Protection Matters is hosted by Chuck Cameron, founder of Design Privacy, your trusted partner in data protection. Don't miss out. That's every Tuesday morning at 8:20 and every Thursday at 8:25 a.m. Stay protected, stay informed with Nationwide 90 FM and Design Privacy.
.22 on the clock. This is 8:23 now. This is Nationwide This Morning. Tona, it's your turn.
So, after what I shared in the What's on My Mind segment about my experience with that particular courier company, and I also did go back to that online space and lodge a complaint. So I wrote up my complaint. I sent it to the company that I wasn't very pleased with my experience of having to wait 5 hours and still not receive my meal and being told that my meal would come shortly. That was 6 o'clock, and at 9:53 was when I was getting calls about the meal. I had already retired to bed. So I did lodge a complaint in the online space, and their operations manager is a person who responded to say that their CEO would be reaching out to me about my experience. And the CEO did reach out. I did get a phone call from the CEO, who apologized to, an extensive degree, admitted that my experience was unacceptable, admitted that there was a breakdown in communication from the dispatcher who was interacting with me in their online chat space, and that the dispatcher wasn't truthful about what was happening on the back end in relation to my order. Also admitted that the company has been having some challenges as it relates to their bikers, the persons that go to the different restaurants and bring your delivery to you. Some of them aren't very honest because their payment system, you can use POS or cash on delivery, and some of them have been holding what they've been given by the customers instead of bringing it to the company. So he says that has created a situation where basically as they hire some of them, not long after they have to let them go. So that has created a situation where they don't have a big enough pool of bikers. So that's creating a backlog in delivery and how quickly they can get deliveries to their customers. So that's the situation that's happening. He says they're working on it based on my experience. They're now doing a lot of rejigging in how they do communication, because obviously there's a gap in communication from the dispatcher and the biker. And they're doing a lot of rejigging in who they employ and where they're getting employees from. So they're not just looking in the corporate area, but going as far as Mandeville to try to get employees who can be bikers. The remedy, the CEO offered to waive the delivery fee on my next 2 orders. That was what was offered to me as a remedy for my really horrible experience with the company. He also gave me his personal number, and he did that because he said when I made the order, I should also reach out to him to say I have made my order, so that he personally can go on their back-end system and track my order, who is responding to the order, the communication, the updates I'm getting about my order. And I was quite pleased about that, him indicating that and committing to that. And also that their communications or operations manager, their brand team, is going to be taking a more, hands-on approach in terms of, monitoring the chats when the dispatcher is interacting with customers to ensure that there is a more timely and customer-friendly interaction. Customers, dispatchers, delivery people. So that was a good experience.
Yes.
I was happy about it. He's a young man. I asked him, how long has your company been about? He said since September 2025, so fairly new company. Obviously, nobody in Jamaica, myself included, wants a trying Jamaican to fail.
Absolutely
We
not.
all want trying Jamaicans to go out there and excel and do well and be successful.
And that's why we constructively criticized yesterday.
Yes. So, me coming on this platform and indicating my experience, a part of that is to ensure that people out there who are entrepreneurs and are trying to build something know that your thing that you're trying to build, there are issues that you probably don't know about. And I'm telling you this so that you can improve what you're offering to Jamaicans, so that you can build customer loyalty and all of that, so that your business can stand and excel for years to come. So yeah, that's the conclusion.
That's the story.
To the story.
That's the story. You know, we're taking calls this morning, 630-9371, 9372, 9373, 9374, and then 618-6730. There's a story we carried this morning in our 6 and 7 a.m. bulletin concerning a fire at JUTC which destroyed some abandoned buses, derelict buses, we said. Well, you know, I made some checks and I was told that for some time now, the Rockfort depot of the JUTC has been having some problems with a lot of vegetation that has just gone wild, grown wild. It's just overgrown or overrun the place, and a section of it, the vegetation is thick. In that section where the vegetation is thick is where the buses were parked. And thick vegetation, so many buses, hard to really secure and to see and to surveil the place because of the obvious obstructions. So because of that, well, that has helped people to scale a section of the perimeter wall, and they have been stealing things from the Rockfort depot of the JUTC, especially that section where the heavy vegetation is and the old buses are. I'm being told that there was an incident recently where 2 young men suspected to be from a certain community, I won't say because I don't know for sure, but they're suspected to be from a certain community. The community was mentioned, but I'll hold off on mentioning the community for now. That they were over there stealing scrap metal and also trying to steal fuel from the JUTC depot. They were challenged by security personnel, but they managed to elude the guards and fled through that vegetated area where the buses are. And it is my information that those 2 men are believed to have been the ones who burnt the buses. Yeah, man. I'm being told that they went back to the section of the perimeter wall that they breached and them just light the place and leave it, hoping that the fire would spread. Luckily for the JUTC, it was contained to the old buses, but it could have been worse. It could have gone to the fire section, the fuel section rather. It could have been a lot worse. So I'm being told reliably that that's what happened. So the JUTC has some issues to resolve. It needs to clean up the compound. You can't have vegetation overrunning a section of the compound sufficient for it to be difficult to surveil and secure, and providing a safe haven for people who are coming onto the premises and who are running off the premises. Yeah. So that's something the JUTC management must resolve in short order, especially now that the fire give you a start, because clearly there's cleanup to do, because you can't leave the charred bus shells there. You're gonna have to move them. So now is the chance for the JUTC to
Just
clean up the
do one
compound.
job.
Yeah, man, clean up the compound.
Yeah, JUTC's active rolling stock was there, stores, whatever they mean by the stores, and critical operational facilities. You said fuel was being stored there.
Yeah.
2.
Yeah.
All of that could have gone up in flames.
Yep. And I hope the police,
because of these unscrupulous people,
Yeah.
as the information is coming
Yeah.
in that the fire was set.
Yeah, deliberately. So I hope that they're
thieves.
caught. I hope that they are caught. The guards were hot on their trail, I heard, in a chase. And them just run through the section. And then the man them return and say, and they set fire to the section. So, yeah. Let's take a break and come right back.
You're listening to Nationwide 90 FM. The time is
8:32.
Need to make a change to your title or need a title? Geoland Title Limited is the place to be. They do lost title application, add and remove names from titles, wills, estates, first-time registration, land surveys included, affordable rates and flexible payment options, National Land Agency adjudication and land titling waivers available. They have 8 locations island-wide. Call 876-754-6436 or visit their website at geolandonline.com. Geoland Title Limited. Secure your land, secure your title.
If you have received a notification that your cargo is ready for pickup at Kingston Wharves Limited KWL, please do so immediately. Hurricane Relief Cargo has added to the regular seasonal shipments, impacting volume and capacity. We are open weekdays and every Saturday, 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. Timely cargo collection by customers is essential. Contact us at 876-618-1068 for more information.
Several of our listeners talking about how cold they are. Rick Jam, New York, NYC says, "Me nearly freeze on my way to the plantation. Thank goodness today is my last day for the week."
Oh my.
I haven't seen Philip Jackson all morning. He's our haulage guy driving across the USA, some long haul drives. I hope that he's okay. Booker T. last says, "George, please provide space for listeners to call out poor service. Understand you have to fact check before airing."
There is space for that.
Yeah, man. We'll leave space for that, man.
Comes
Booker
up
T.
at 9.
Yeah, man. The consumer.
You get an hour. Yeah, man. It's a call out poor customer service.
Glenda Carr says, "Rockford Police Station is way too close for the public properly to not be protected. So there are issues out that side." Strongling says that has to be a management problem. Vegetation don't grow overnight. Cut away the darn vegetation. I agree with you, Stronglings. The maintenance. I'd like to hear from the property manager, the man in charge of facilities at the JUTC Rockford Depot. How come you make bush take over the place? Yeah, and especially in that section. So that's been a problem section at the JUTC the Rockford Depot for some time, I'm being told. So, you know. Yeah, Patrick says if it was Tivoli or Denham Town, the community name would have been called. Not by me, Patrick. Remember, you know, the reason I don't call the community name in is because the information I got says men who they think are from so-and-so. So how responsible would I be to come here and call the name of a community who the person who tell me never sure? So guess what? The persons are certain that 2 men came on the premises. They're certain that the place was heavily vegetated. They're certain that the buses were in that section. They're certain that the man them tried thief scrap metal and tried thief fuel. They're certain that the guards chased them. They're certain that the men ran through that section and escaped over the perimeter wall, which they always breach. They're certain that those men came back. But them not certain where the man them come from. I gave you all of what I am certain about, and the thing that the person who give me the information is not certain about, I didn't give it to you, Patrick. What more you want? Tell me, how else should I do it? What else should I do to satisfy your craving for information? How can I give you what I have not confirmed? Come on, man. Jeez of peace.
Shandy says, in the meantime, Shandy Hamilton, there are places you need to put hidden cameras in place to catch those thieves. Yeah. And
DJ Perry says, "George, we're going to get a bad winter snowstorm here in ATL on Saturday and Sunday. It's going to cripple us for days. A winter snowstorm, brethren. Why? It's a hell of a thing. It's a hell of a thing."
Spurtree says, "I'm in New York, and trust me, this is 21 degrees right now."
Rasta Rock Jamaican says, "Blessings Nationwide family. George was in Minneapolis last week, heading to Des Moines. They place cold. I can just imagine. I can just imagine.
And Kerry says it rough bad. Where are you, Kerry? Oh, Massachusetts.
Winston Haywood says Washington is expecting snow and cold this week. Which one of the Washington then, Winston? DC or Washington State? Because if I up Seattle side, if I Washington State, you don't know this ago already. DC, they don't normally brutally cold like that. But you're there, you can tell me. Amarildo Mackenzie says, so you a thief and almost get caught and you feel that you should burn down the place? Shake my head. What can go so? Blessed Marcia says, Tana is my favorite dolly.
Oh my goodness.
My brethren, Kenneth Montgomery from Rima. Rima man say, NYC bitter. Jeez, not bitter, not bitter, bitter.
Yeah, it's real bad.
Yeah. Christopher Bowen says, I'm in St. Anne. It's raining. Yeah. Jacqueline says, Florida is no longer the sunshine state.
It was snowing in a section of Florida on the weekend.
Yeah.
Cold.
And Nancy Campbell says it's 15 degrees in Bridgeport, Connecticut, USA. And then Rick says the southern and Midwest states that don't normally get snow will be impacted, George.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Howard Stevenson says snowstorm in wait, where did your comment go? Oh, Howard Stevenson says it is 15 and feels like 6 in Queens, New York.
Leonard Seville says, yes, George, winter weather, storm, 8 to 12 inches of snow in West Virginia. It's 17 degrees now.
Miguel says brutally cold in Toronto.
Larchmont, New York, 21 degrees now is reporting Dwight Bonner. Mr. Lex says, I'm in Oshawa, Ontario. I am cold. One woman can't keep me warm. Hey!
You know, Mr. Lex.
Rick says it's -6, but it feels like -10 or 19 degrees Fahrenheit and feel like 11 degrees Fahrenheit.
Josh Allen says, my pear tree in Jacksonville, Florida, gone. Oh.
And Shandy now says it's been cold all week in Florida. I can't believe I left Massachusetts for this.
Annie Smith says, Mr. Lex, baby, bop.
Karen Rose says,
don't encourage him, Annie.
No, Karen Rose says we are in for a terrible snowstorm in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, going to be hitting a -45 wind chill. Murder.
Leroy says up here far enough full up the chats on a daily basis. The chat on NTM is diverse.
Very, very diverse. Yeah, very, very diverse. The Myers family says, good morning, my two NN presenter. Thank you for always making me laughing. Love you both. And the feeling is the same.
Hates you, the Myers family.
Yeah, man. All right, here's what we're going to do now. King, find something nice for you, we could just take it into the birthday segment. Yeah, man, why not?
Yeah. Annie?
Find something nice, woman, so we take it into the birthday segment. Somebody said London Cold.
What do you want from me?
Somebody said London Cold. I'm looking for it. Somebody said something about London. To show, where I show off, for sure, all who I listen to it. Annie Smith says London Cold as always. You're in London, Annie? Are you in London? Are you? Cherry Kira says, St. Elizabeth me come from. St. Elizabeth me come from out the fridge, London, 17 years ago. So you swap the fridge for St. Elizabeth. Yeah, man. Good
Very
thing.
well.
KTB Weller says, George, you don't have to celebrate me whole week, on my birth month. We know January are your month in the KTB.
Yeah.
We don't forget.
Yeah.
You know, allow us to forget that time. So we have to celebrate you and celebrate the month because you're deserving. You understand?
And Blessed Marcia Favor says NNN is the only little piece of Jamaica we have over here.
Wow. And he says, yes, I am in London, George. Yes, so Annie, what time now is 5 hours, 8 and 5, 13. That would be 1:41 p.m. in London now, Annie. All right. Yeah. Good morning to you. Still good morning where you are. Oh, no, it's afternoon. Yeah, 1:41 p.m. Yeah, man. Thank you for being here in London with us.
And Guard 931 says, by the way, it's cool in the hills of Trelawney.
Love that. That. Mr. Lex says, George, I will now refer to you as His Excellency. No, not me. Not me, no, Mr. Lex. Ricardo, because we were talking in the office yesterday and said, what a man favor His Excellency. Hey, Brooks' neck back and His Excellency neck back look like this.
Good morning, Cardo.
So, Ricardo Brooks.
That reenactment.
Nora Gay
Very good.
Banton, Orion Buchanan. Boy, I tell you, man, you added something yesterday. You all added something to that thing. Yeah, that's it.
Rick Jam NYC says, NNN is what makes me feel like I am home.
Yeah. Valentina asking if Ricardo had the knife. No, man, that was Orion. Ricardo was the
acting
was his
as
excellency.
His Excellency.
You don't see the man neck back look, and he head back to the head back. Oh my God. Anyway, we're coming close to the birthday segment. Jeremy, I'll give you something nice now. Let's take that. Ricardo Brooks, just say His Excellency. Watch the mixer now. Annie Smith in London. Yeah, you're there far. We have played Curtis Mayfield for you. You hear? Come through now, Mr. King. From his album Superfly.
The white walls, TV antennas in the back.
One of the greatest.
You may not have a car at all.
Annie Smith, your tune is here. Courtesy of Mr. Jermaine King.
Brothers and sisters, you can still stand tall. Just be thankful for what you got. Though you may not drive a great big Cadillac, diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with a gangster lean, gangster white wall. TV antennas in the back. You may not have
King.
a car at all, but remember, brothers and sisters, you can still stand.
You will not be able to stay home, brother. You will not be able to plug in, turn on, and cop out. You will not be able to lose yourself on Skag and skip out from here during commercials because the revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by Xerox in 4 parts without commercial interruption. The revolution will not show you pictures of Nixon blowing a whistle and leading the charge by John Mitchell, General Abrams, and Spyro Agnew. King! Eat hog laws confiscated from the sanctuary. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution will not be brought to you by the Shaker Award Theater and will not star Hadley Woods and Steve McQueen or Bullwinkle and Junior. The revolution will not give your mouth sex appeal. The revolution revolution will not get rid of the nub. The revolution will not make you look 5 pounds thinner because the revolution will not be televised, brother.
Mix.
Not bad.
Mix. Mr. King, I mix it like a cup of cocoa. Cocoa tea.
Everybody, no more sleeping in bed. No more backward thinking, time for thinking ahead. The world has changed so very much from what it used to be. There's so much hatred, war and poverty.
Teddy B.
Wake up all the teachers, time to teach a new way. Maybe then they'll listen to what you have to say. They're the ones who's coming up and the world is in their hands. When you teach the children, teach them the very best you can.
Black excellence on this Wednesday morning.
World won't get no better if we just let it be. Na 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 na. World won't get no better. We gotta change it now, just you and me. Wake up all the doctors, make the old people well. They're the ones who suffer and who catch all the pain. They don't have so very long.
This is Billie Holiday with Strange Fruit.
In the summer breeze,
sing it, Billy.
Strange fruit hanging from the poplar tree. Pastoral scene of the gallant South.
It's a King Garden bag.
Bulging eyes and the twisted mouth.
Hey man, Garden bag.
Scent of magnolia, sweet and fresh. Then the sudden smell of burning flesh.
You know how I feel.
For the crow.
Sun in the sky, you know how I feel. Breeze drifting on by, you know how I feel. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me, yeah. It's a new dawn, it's a new day. It's a new life for me. Ooh, ooh, ooh. And I'm feeling good.
From Billy to Nina Simone King. Jeez, peace. And you give me Kanye. Oh my God.
You know how I feel. River running free. You know how I feel. Blossom on the tree. You know how I feel.
We're on radio. You get politics, news, commentary, analysis. You get Billie Holiday. You get Nina Simone. Has to be nationwide. 4%. Them here. 4%.
Dragonfly out in the sun, you know what I mean, don't you know? Butterflies all having fun, you know what I mean? Sleep in peace when day is done, that's what I mean. And this old world is a new world and a bold world for me. honest you do, honest you do. Whoa, you thrill me. I know you thrill me, darling. You thrill me, honest you do. At first I thought it was infatuation, but ooh, it's lasted so long. Now I find myself wanting to marry you and take you home. Whoa, you send me, I know you send me, I know you send me, honest you do.
Bees.
How about all them walls?
Come true, Uncle Louis.
You call them wonderful? And how about hunger and pollution?
Such more.
They ain't so wonderful either. But how about listening to old Pops for a minute?
Such more.
Seems to me it ain't the world that's so bad, but what we are doing to it. And all I'm saying is see what a wonderful world it would be if only we'd give it a chance. Love, baby, love. That's the secret. Yeah. If lots more of us loved each other, we'd solve lots more problems. And man, this world would be a guesser. That's what old boys keep saying. I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world. I see skies of blue,
I use this moment to find the special people who are celebrating their birthdays today. Naomi Smith is sending happy birthday to dearest one and only daughter, Tishian Smith. Just want to let you know I love you. So happy birthday to you, Tishian Smith, from your mom. Happy birthday. Damien Kelly sending happy birthday wishes. This one says, I want to wish myself, Damien Kelly, on this special day, happy birthday. So Damien Kelly, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you, Damien. Wishing for you a great one. Cherry Care sending happy birthday to Rona Lee. 17 years old today, Rona Lee. Happy birthday to you. And Cherry says, well done to her mother, Simone. So good morning to you, Simone. Glenn sending happy birthday to Councillor Kenneth Davis from the Mapen East Division, who turned 62 years old today. Happy birthday to you, Councillor. Wishing you good health, happiness, and success. Love and respect, my little brother, says Glenn. Donna Oates sending happy 10th birthday to granddaughter Farah Imogene. We hope your day will be filled with joy. Love from Mama and Granddad. And Imogene is saying, George and Tana, please play a happy birthday song. She will be listening. So Jermaine, for this one, Farah, she's listening, 10 years old today. Happy birthday to you, Farah.
Happy birthday, Farah.
Wishing for your lovely one. And Anne-Marie Walker saying that she's sending happy birthday greetings to beautiful niece Tatiana Tomlinson, aka Punky. Punky, good morning. It's your birthday. Happy birthday to you from your aunt, Anne-Marie Walker.
Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. Georgia on my mind. I said, Georgia, Georgia, a song of you.
Some more birthdays here. Noveletta Buchanan sending happy birthday to Tremaine and Twain or Tywayne. Happy birthday to both of you. Tremaine and Tywayne or Twain coming from Novelette Buchanan. And Anne-Marie Walker sending happy birthday to Auntie Donna. Auntie Donna, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you from Anne-Marie Walker. And Eric Blair says, it's his birthday today. Eric Blair, it's your birthday. Happy birthday to you. Wishing for you a great day. Jody and James is sending happy birthday greetings to Faye Burnett of Mansionville, Portland. Faye, over there in Mansionville, Portland, it's your birthday today. Happy birthday from Jody James Francis.
Winston Haywood says, happy birth month to my wife of 31 years. So Mrs. Haywood, Winston, happy birth month, 31 years and going strong. Wishing you all the very, very best.
Everton Harris sending happy birthday greetings to Nadine Gregory. Have a great one, Nadine Gregory. The greetings coming from Everton Harris. And
Verna Lopez, happy birthday to Dane Campbell in the Cayman Islands and Verna in New York. So Verna in New York, Dane Campbell in the Cayman Islands. Happy birthday to both of you from Verna Lopez. What a difference a day makes. Pure legend, you want to play for morning?
Yeah.
24.
Jacqueline sending happy birthday to Jason Brooks. Jason Brooks, it's your birthday today. Wishing you all the very best. Happy birthday to you from Jacqueline. And those are all the birthdays now. If you're celebrating your birthday today, happy birthday to you. If it happens to be your anniversary today, happy anniversary.
Yesterday was blue, dear. Today I'm a part of you, dear. My lonely nights are through, dear. Since
Sharon Foss says, happy birthday to my daughter Camille. Camille, happy birthday to you, and it's coming from your mommy.
Lord, what a difference a day makes.
What a difference when we have to leave the show.
Aww.
What a thing.
Yeah. We'll be back tomorrow.
Everald Mitchell says, happy birthday to Omarion. Omarion, happy birthday to you, coming from Everald Mitchell.
Skies above can't be stormy. Since that moment of bliss, that thrilling
Unforgettable.
kiss, it's heaven.
That's what you are.
Unforgettable, though near.
It's your fault, Jermaine.
Like a song of love that clings to me.
That's about it for the show. Thank you so much for tuning in to Nationwide this morning. NTM, the big show. Thanks so much to our technical operator and the musical maestro, one musical maestro, Jermaine King. Thanks so much to our super producer, Michelle McCray Smith, and our super editor in the newsroom, Kimon Thompson. To you, our NTMers, and to our sponsors, thank you so much as well for making this possible. Up next, the Consumer Hour with Norgay Banton. Pauline sending happy birthday to Dr. Donna Marie Go. Oh, so it's Auntie Donna, that Auntie Donna who's celebrating her birthday today. So happy birthday to you, Auntie Donna. And at 10, it will be Cliff Hughes Online. I'm Tana.
I will replace Jermaine King. You must be joking.
I love it. I love it. Good morning.
Thinks that I am unforgettable too.
You've just heard Nationwide this morning on Nationwide 90 FM.
Facts and Fair. Nationwide 90 FM.
Year in Review 2025. In 2025, Jamaica's